it back in the zone. That's going to do it. The seconds count down. The Flin Flon Bombers, FCHL champions for the first time in 33 years.
Creighton Furniture Bomber Hockey is on the air.
I want everybody to know our players are so proud to be playing for our fans. Like, they love it. That is the biggest thing about being a Bomber.
Live from Summerside, Prince Edward Island, it's the National Championship, the Centennial Cup.
This is what we've been really working for and towards since day one.
Live and free on 1029 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
5 seconds to go. Arbery up the right side. Looks in. Scores! How about that one? 0.5 of a second on the clock. Boy, you want to talk about a gutsy goal.
Here with the call the action.
Back out front, nice pass. Leads a 10 scores! Power play goal! Joey Lee!
The voice of your Flin Flon Bombers.
Arbery slides up to check a backhand run. Scores! Morozov again! He's got his second of the game! And another big goal for Flin Flon!
Mr. Rob Hart.
Alrighty, good evening and welcome to the Credit Union Place. It'll be the final round-robin game of the tournament here between the Flin Flon Bombers and the Maritime Junior Hockey League champion Truro Bearcats, Bombers, of course, their last round-robin game and also last game of the tournament there. And Flin Flon, well, it's a very interesting scenario. I wasn't going to get too tied up into this, but it's really been a big factor. I just thought, come out here, call the game. Hopefully the Bombers win and worry about all the particulars after. But for the big topic of conversation, Keith Yeager, basically, in a nutshell, the Bombers 1-2 today, Truro 2-1. Flin Flon needs to win this game by 5 goals if they're going to actually move on to the playoff round.
Yes, there's been a whole bunch of scenarios. Hockey Canada was in here giving us a little explanation as to how it can go if this team scores this many goals versus that team scores this many goals. But it does come down to the Bombers are going to have to fill the back of the net tonight to get a real chance to move on to the playoff rounds.
Well, and like I said, I think you just got to go out there and you got to play Flin Flon Bomber hockey. The good news for them is they are coming off a victory, and they scored some goals. I mean, they only had 2 goals in the first 2 games. They got shut out against Longueuil, and then got, browbeaten here by Toronto 7-2, but did respond with a huge opening period and a 6-4 win against the Sudbury Cubs, who've actually been eliminated. They're the only team from the pool that's officially been eliminated so far. We talked so much that day, Keith, about Flin Flon coming out and scoring the first goal. Didn't do that, but answered the first goal very quickly and put up 4, a 4-1 lead after 1. It just goes to show you the depth and strength of the tournament. Sudbury came back and tied things up, and it was a goal by the veteran Reid Arbery with 0.5 of a second on the clock late in the second that led to the game winner, and then they were able to, of course, hang on with the Landon Alexander empty netter in the third period. But like we said many times since you and I have been calling all the games from down here in beautiful Summerside, PEI, every time you face off with a team, it's a team that won their league. They're all league champions. Nobody's a slouch. And I'll tell you what, like I've mentioned to you, this is my 3rd Centennial Cup. This is the strongest block of Eastern teams I've ever seen.
There's been some great teams. The Longueuil team, I know we only allowed them to 12 shots, but they did find the back of the net on the one. But since then, they have been on a roll. They did lose to Truro, so 2-1. But they beat Sudbury, and then today they took it to the Toronto 7-4 here this afternoon to make Truro have to beat us in order to get first place. But I don't believe that's going to happen. I think we're going to see a great performance here from the Bombers. Bombers, as they got to score a lot of goals, are going to be high pressure all night.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to do a little bit. I mean, they're obviously a team that likes to focus on defense. They're still going to have to do that because it's great if you score 7 or 8 goals, but you can't give up 5 or 6. So it'll be a very interesting strategy, a very unusual circumstance. And I think it's safe to say, after tonight's game, I don't think that any of these young men in this game are ever going to be in a situation like this one where you have to win a hockey game by 5 goals. It's a very unusual thing at this particular level. Minor hockey, maybe, a lot different at the junior levels, and, of course, up and beyond that.
Well, they're used to playing games where it's just win it and you move on. And
a lot of times in tournaments, you're happy winning the game 1-0, 2-1.
Yes, for sure. Rarely does it come down into the very last game of the round robin where one team's got to be so dominant on the shot or on the clock, the goals for, and that kind of stuff. It could be a totally game where you get dominated, but you end up finding the back of the net more of the other team. We got to hope tonight that there's been a few Bombers that, have been a little bit sneaky, but even though we did score 6 goals the other night, there's still a few guys that have not had a chance to get on the board. I think they're going to be big factors tonight.
Now, we did catch up with Mike Regan, the head coach GM. We'll get to his comments here momentarily. Do we want to let the cat out of the bag and talk about the lineup changes down, or do we want to wait and let Mike tell it himself when we come back with his interview?
Oh, we can let Mike do his thing, I believe. We've seen there was a couple of small changes, but I think we should let Mike make the call for that.
Absolutely. Well, he will mention, of course, who's in and who's out here for today. But the good thing about this team is, Keith, that there's no passengers, and it's a very well-balanced team. And I can safely say, and we talked about this, we talked to some of the guys, we did some stuff for social media earlier today. I firmly believe there's been no passengers on this team this year, and every player, whether they play tonight or not, can say that they were a factor in helping this team finally win the SJHL championship for the first time in 33 years.
Well, there wasn't a player on the team who didn't play throughout the playoffs, even including our AP played one game into the Estevan series.
That's right.
So every single player on here was part of that championship through the playoffs. Every single one of them contributed, and I imagine tonight is going to be no different. Even for the guys off the ice, they're going to be meeting with the guys in the room, cheering them on, and for the guys on the ice, you know that they're going to leave everything out there.
Absolutely, and like we said, it's going to be obviously not an easy task, but I think they've been a pretty loose group around here today for the most part.
They sure have, actually. It doesn't look like there's a ton of pressure on them. You saw when we did the video or the interview here this morning that you even saw a couple of the coaches getting involved, and if you'd have been standing in a different spot, a couple of those pucks they shot at you might even have hit you.
I think they were trying to hit me, if you want me to be honest.
But I think they were just having a good time. They looked loose. You saw a couple of guys doing the old kayak through the back of the round of the video and those kind of things. And even seeing them around the up here on the concourse, they're throwing the ball around. They look comfortable, but they look ready to go.
They did, and it's a loose group today. And like I said, they're a very tight group, a very cohesive group, and that could go a long way as well. Tell you what, Keith, I'm looking forward to calling this one tonight. And you do so many games, and you do it for so many years. You always look for new experiences. I don't think I've ever been in a situation, even broadcasting-wise, where the team's had to win a game by 5 goals. It's a different circumstance.
It is, yes, absolutely. I mean, it's going to change the way that the team plays. Like we were talking earlier, you might end up seeing the Bombers being up 5-1 in the third period and pull a goalie.
There has been some talk about that, but obviously we'll have to wait and see. I think we're going to have a pretty good glimpse after one period today how it's going to kind of go.
Yeah, you got to really hope, as if you're for the Bombers, that you come out and you get a couple early so you can get a bit of a lead so you don't have to take so many chances and stuff like that. So I think the first 10 minutes, if they can find a way to put a couple in the back of the net, will really help them settle down and get into a little more of their game where they can, because then by then you're looking to win a 3-0 game instead of a 5-0 game.
And get some confidence too. And like I said, it doesn't hurt that they won their last game 6-4, and it also doesn't hurt they had a day off to get some guys rested as well. So we're looking forward to it. The fourth and final round-robin game for the Flin Flon Bombers. Again, their record 1-2. Truro, of course, the Maritime Junior Hockey League champions, sitting with a record of 2-1. We'll take a break. Who is going to be in? Who's going to be out of the lineup tonight? Mike Regan will address that. A lot of other stuff coming up here from beautiful Credit Union Place. It's a Centennial Cup. Creighton Furniture, Flin Flon Bomber, and a Creighton Furniture, Flin Flon Bomber hockey, courtesy of Creighton Furniture, and of course a whole whack of wonderful businesses that continue to get hockey on the radio year after year, decade after decade. Where would we be without you? Well, we wouldn't be here broadcasting this game here tonight. We're going to take a quick break and come back with the particulars of Mike Regan. And again, hopefully enjoying all this great Centennial Cup coverage here on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Great North GM in the PA is here to help you focus on their incredible deals, like 0% financing on Buick Envisions, SUVs, and other select models. Plus, you can bring in your used 1500 Series truck and trade it in for a new 1500 Series and get $1,000 back in your pocket. So don't wait. Visit Great North GM, 212 LaRose Avenue in the PA to get thousands of dollars in savings, because it's always a great day at Great North GM.
Bailey Homes are proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers on their journey to the Centennial Cup. With 15 years experience in the North, specializing in RTM homes and foundations, they're so thankful to Flin Flon and surrounding areas for supporting them all these years. Bailey Homes is always happy to chat with a potential customer to show what they can do for our community. Your trusted builder in the North? Visit bailey-homes.ca. Go Bombers, go!
McDonald's and Flin Flon want to congratulate the Flin Flon Bombers on winning their first league championship in 33 years. They're celebrating with a great variety of cold beverages to enjoy all summer long, including the Blackberry Passion Fruit Refresher, Strawberry Watermelon Refresher, and the Mango Pineapple Refresher. Also want to try the new Cloud Iced Coffee, a new premium iced coffee finished with silky sweet cold foam instead of cream or milk. Enjoy all these new beverages at your local McDonald's all summer long. McDonald's wants to wish the Flin Flon Bombers the best of luck at this year's Centennial Cup in Summerside, PEI.
This broadcast is brought to you by Eldorado Gold Saskatchewan, formerly Foran Mining, now part of an even stronger Canadian headquartered mining company, expanding its presence at home. We're proud to continue advancing the McIlvania Bay project, less than an hour from Flin Flon and Creighton. McIlvania Bay is Saskatchewan's first copper mine in over 30 years and a federally recognized project of national significance. As we move towards production, we're building momentum and growing our team. As we near production, we're also investing in exploration to help bring Northeast Saskatchewan's next mining district to life. And we need your help. Apply today at foranmining.com/careers and go Bombers.
And welcome to our Centennial Cup, of course, Coach's Show with Mike Reagan, the head coach and GM of the Bombers. And Mike, obviously everybody kind of knows the scenarios being tossed around here, but I think the long and short of it is you just want to make sure the guys go out there and play Bomber hockey.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of a weird 48 hours. You know, a lot of things have gone against us in helping us advance. I mean, the good news is we still have a chance to advance. You know, it's going to be a little harder than what we anticipated, but we've been a team that's been good against the odds, you know, over the last number of years. We've always seemed to respond, you know, when things are difficult, and we're expecting that here tonight. And I mean, at the end of the day, we know we got to win by 5 goals.
The good news is you're coming off a game where you scored 6 and you finally got the puck in the net. I mean, first couple of games maybe snake bit a little bit, but certainly a good third game. Maybe you gave up a few more goals than you like, but all in all, scoring 6 in a game against any team in this tournament is pretty good.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were up 4-1 in that hockey game, you know, so we know that we can do it. And I think that we've gotten better. You know, I still, game 1 I thought was a fantastic game. It's so unfortunate you look back at that now and you go, if we could have scored 1 goal and even go to overtime, we're sitting in a completely different position right now. But that's the way these tournaments work, and you don't know as you go on. Like, there's so many scenarios that change based on who beats who, and I don't think anybody would have thought that Toronto was going to drop their last 2 and drop them as bad as they did. So, you know, anything's possible in a tournament like this, and I know that we're capable of scoring big.
And anything can happen in one game.
You're right, Hardy. And, you know, I also think that there's some guys that, you know, maybe haven't played as well as they normally do. And, you know, we're expecting them to snap out of that, you know, and not, you know, who would have guessed that, you know, Tritter would have an 80 save percentage right now. I mean, we know that he's way better than that. And we know that he's capable of pitching, you know, a shutout, and we need that tonight. You know, we need that out of him, and we need guys to score, and we need our power play going. You know, at the end of the day, I know we haven't had a lot of power play opportunities lately, but you got to find a way to score on the specialty teams.
Well, with your power play, at least the last game, like, you had offensive zone time. At least you had the puck around the zone, were able to cycle the puck around, which you really had difficulty doing the first 2 games.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I go back to game 1, and actually we did watch the power plays, and we did have some good looks. We just we couldn't capitalize. We couldn't beat their goaltender, but definitely against Toronto we struggled. You know, last game, like you said, we had some zone time and some opportunities. And, you know, we had the best power play all year in the league. And so, again, there's a lot of things that we think can snap into going back to the way, you know, we normally play. And that's our power play contributing, our penalty kill being really good, and obviously play great defensive hockey and capable of scoring a lot of goals.
You know, we talked a lot about getting the first goal. You didn't get it last game, but you responded so quickly that it really wasn't a factor. That's usually you get that quick lead, you score first, but you came back. You must have had a good feeling, Mike, once you responded that fast.
Yeah, I did, Hardy. You know, I thought that the guys were dialed in, and, you know, it was a tough one to give up, and that, but the response was really good. And, you know, that's all you can ask for as a coach. And, you know, it's kind of the same scenario right now is we got to have a good response from our group under the circumstances. And I've told these guys all year, I'll take these guys to war against anyone and like our chances. So we believe in this team. We believe in the guys. And, you know, we won the league for a reason. And, yeah, maybe we're not exactly where we want to be at this point in the tournament. And it looks like we've got a mountain to climb, but that doesn't mean it's over and that it can't be done, you know. And so we're going to look at this as a positive, and I'm confident in the boys.
I think everybody could say they contributed to this team, Mike, and like you mentioned, you don't win a championship with 3 or 4 guys. If you would, then a lot of other teams would win. So, I mean, it was a collaborative effort. I think you look at this team, Mike, win or lose here tonight. Has this been as well? I know we've talked a little bit about that, but the balance of the club, Mike, is it as good as you've ever had? I know you've had a lot of good teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the difference between this team and some other teams in the past is there was a gap between our top-end players and maybe our depth players. This year, maybe that top end isn't as strong, but our bottom end is so close. I mean, on any given night, we don't know who's going to be the hero, and that's a really nice thing, and we need a lot of heroes here tonight, and I think that the guys are capable of doing it, and that's why having the depth, if each line, contributes, 1 goal, there's 4 right there, and hopefully another line can get, 2 or 3.
$1 million question, Mike, what type of lineup you icing tonight?
Well, I think, we're not doing anything on the back end. We thought that Homer came in and played extremely well. He's been a soldier all year for us. He's been just an unbelievable teammate. When you ask him, to sit out, he's does it with a smile on his face, and such a team guy, and that sort of thing. And then up front, I mean, we had a tough decision to make, and Marty's going to come out here, and we're putting Joe back in, and we feel that Joe's going to respond from not playing last game, and he's obviously a local guy that has led their team in scoring, and we need scoring here tonight, and we need him to do what he did for most of the year there, and hopefully he can come up with a big game.
Like you said, 14 power play goals. You get your power play going, he might be the guy to get that power play marker tonight.
No, you're exactly right, Hardy, and that's the thing is I think like if we can just get back to who we normally are, I think I like our chances. It's going to be hard, but hey, let's embrace this, and at the end of the day, we've got that SJHL championship. I'm not saying that we came here for a free ride or free vacation or anything like that. We're motivated to win here, and we've played 2 out of the 3 games really well, and now we need to win this one, and the cards are going to fall the way they may, and at the end of the day, we can't control that. If we could go back, obviously game 1, like I said, if we scored 1 more goal, we're in a way better position. So we can't dwell on that. We've got to look at the challenge ahead of us, and look at it as a really good opportunity to write a pretty unique story.
It certainly would be. Mike, thanks for this. Good luck against Truro here tonight, wrapping up the round robin of the Centennial Cup.
Thanks very much, Robert.
Mike Reagan, the head coach of the Bombers, once again right here on 102.9 CFER and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Get out of hibernation and get into Frontline Sport and Leisure. The 2026 Polaris Ranger North Star Premium or the SP 570 lets you get to work or get away from work. Frontline wants you to get the most out of your machine with day in, day out durability. There's never been a better time to get into a Ranger. Visit in person on Coronation Drive in Creighton or call 688-3333. Your spring is riding on this at Frontline Sport and Leisure. It's Wednesday night here. I know I don't have the cachet of Saturday night. Even Thursday is bragging about being Friday Eve, and Monday has the whole villain vibe. But now I've got something to stand out with Wild Wing Wednesday at Chicken Chef. 50 cents a wing from 7 to 10. Wednesday night takes a backseat to nobody. Go back to the 90s with your must-see Thursday. Saturday night, overrated. Wild Wing Wednesdays from 7 to 10 at Chicken Chef. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means.
McMunn & Yates Building Supplies is proud to be supporting the Flin Flon Bombers. They know that the Bombers won't hold back and will make everyone proud in the Centennial Cup. And just like the Bombers, refuse to hold back on your spring projects. Find hot deals on everything you need to get started, from bold paints to new tools and flooring to a new toilet. Celebrate 55 years of business with the McMunn & Yates Big Anniversary Sales Event. And go Bombers go!
The Flin Flon Credit Union is a proud supporter of the Flin Flon Bombers and wishes them all the best at the Centennial Cup Championship. From buying your first home to reaching your investment goals or just finding what savings account is right for you, your credit union is there to help you succeed. Handle your banking right from the app or head on in and enjoy the personal service. Flin Flon Credit Union. Go Bombers, go!
It
In 1927, Hudbay began and then grew with properties under exploration, development, and operation. Hudbay is proud to be a sponsor of this Flin Flon Bombers Centennial Cup broadcast. Through active participation, bursaries, and donations, Hudbay is proud to continue its 99-year history of supporting the community, its organizations, and its people. Hudbay wishes the best for the Bombers and their fans, built on the strengths of today and tomorrow. Go Bombers, go!
Welcome back to Credit Union Place. We're just about ready for the opening face-off tonight between the Truro Bearcats and the Flin Flon Bombers. Again, Flin Flon needing not just to win, but a victory by 5 goals as we get set for the national anthem. And, of course, we'll come back with the Bailey Homes Builders of the Games, tonight's big starting lineup. What do you think it costs for them to bring Celine Dion in here tonight?
Oh, jeez. I think that'd be a fair amount of money. Is she still playing Vegas?
Well, I thought that was her out on the ice, wasn't it? Sounded like Celine Dion to me. Anyway, we're almost set to go here. The Flin Flon Bombers, the Truro Bearcats, the Bailey Home Builders of the game for the Bombers tonight. They're going to start things off with the line of Morozov, Arbery, and Connor Miller. On the back end, Fashawn and Knudsen. Again, how about Fashawn? Once again, the only Flin Flon Bomber this year, Keith, to suit up in every single game, including the biggest one of the year tonight.
Yes, I expect that he's going to be able to come through with a great performance here tonight. He's been one of those players we talked about who hasn't had a chance to get on the score sheet over the tournament here. I think tonight you're going to see him pound the back of the net.
Charlie Trent will get the call here tonight, the SDHL goaltender of the year. Trent, of course, unbelievable numbers in the regular season, also pretty good in the playoffs. He had 4 shutouts, wound up with a save percentage of .924 and a goals against of just over 1.5 a game. They're hoping he can regain that for the tournament. Numbers a little bit lower than what Charlie's seen throughout the regular season and throughout the postseason.
Yes, for sure. Charlie hasn't been his regular self here for this tournament here, but hey, all it takes is one game for him to be able to pitch that shutout tonight and give us a good chance to get through the next round.
First ever meeting between these two teams as Flin Flon will get the puck inside the Truro zone. That's picked up here by Arbery. Had the game winner, like we mentioned, against Sudbury. Back on Monday. Fashawn at the blue line. He'll hang on. Throws out with their traffic. Miller got a piece of it. Morozov back. That's still looking for his first tournament as he gets thrown to the ice here. Puck will come to the right point. Knudsen knocked it down. There's a shot! And it goes wide, low stick side here on the Truro netminder tonight. Laurice Conley, who's actually the backup, will tell you what that's all about here when we get our first stoppage of play. Truro, though, has the puck back in their own net. They'll hang on to it. That's one of their big stud demon. They've got some big defensemen on this team. And that's the big defenseman there, St. Gelais. Flin Flon will dump the puck back inside the zone. There's Bruce along the board. Puck comes out front, and batting on it that time was Wright Ewan. Alexander Ewan out front. They're going to throw everything into net. That gets blocked. Puck will come back to center. Yakimchuk on top of it. Here's Yakimchuk. 3-year Bomber gets it back to the middle of the ice that time for Alexander. Nice backhand around the board. Bruce will pick it up. He'll walk in. There's a nice drop pass to Stitton. Stitton along the boards, deep inside Truro territory. Good start for Flin Flon tonight. That one gets intercepted, though, and that's picked off this time by Balduke, but he can't get the puck out. Ewan in front of the net. The puck is laying there, and finally Conley will reach out and grab it. We mentioned he's the backup netminder. Truro, of course, had the 16-year-old Sam Berthiaume, who had a goals against a 1.71 and a save percentage of .947, got injured in Game 3 of the finals. His season is done. 16 years of age and is on the NHL Central Scouting list.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to see him, but you look at the stats and they're amazing. Forget a 9, well into the 947 save percentage, and that's amazing. But Bombers had the first couple of good shifts here.
Conley, no slouch, who's in there now. Flin Flon will throw that through traffic. That got blocked. Here's Maverick Delisle. Back to blue line to Lalamere. He'll swing that pass. Flin Flon's had a couple really good shifts. There's a shot just off target again. The Cap Truro cut it back on their heels a little bit. Mounier at the blue line. Throws it through traffic. It goes wide. Ulmer tried to poke that one back out front. Ulmer along the boards. He'll get it free. There's a chance, and he ripped it over top. And then let it glance off the shoulder that time of Conley. But, boy, the entire play, we played almost 2 full minutes here. Almost the full 2 minutes inside the Truro zone.
Well, and we've also said that the Bombers are going to have to put pucks on net, and they're doing so. If it weren't for the goalie making a couple of saves already, and a couple of just close misses, one on a deflection and one on a shot by Alexander that just missed the top corner.
The Truro top scorer, Jake Todd, will take the face-off here against Joey Lees. Back in uniform tonight, as you heard from Mike Reagan in the pregame show. Lees wins the draw. Ryder Muka, his family in attendance, along the boards. Got the first goal in the tournament back at that 7-2 loss to Toronto last weekend. Truro gets the puck in center. That's ripped in that time. Knutson will try to chase it down back of the net. Todd is there. Tapped it back of the goal. He was looking for Kyver. Kyver can't hang on. Flin Flon will flip it out. Comes back to the Truro line where it's grabbed here by St. Gelais. Sent it back inside Flin Flon territory. This is Fashawn the pass to Lees. Redirects the puck back in Truro territory. Conley will come out. Gets rid of it quickly. Picked up by St. Gelais. Fired around the boards. Flin Flon tries to hold it in. Now it bounces out. That's grabbed at center here by Hoyt. He'll dump it in. Schritt out of his net. Played it around the boards. Puck comes to the Flin Flon blue line. Halliday has it now for Truro. Tried to feed that out front. Hit a couple of sticks. The puck is sent inside the Flin Flon zone. Schritt stopped that. Yakupchuk at the side of his net. Feeds it ahead to Arbery. Arbery flips it back up the middle here for Morozov. Morozov, even though it was behind him, still got a stick on it. Gets it back to Arbery. He'll flip the puck deep in behind the Truro net. There's Reed Arbery. Hanging on to it. Reed Arbery to the blue line. Knocked down. Mounier, a chance. The goalie doesn't have a stick. Flin Flon's got a scramble in front. They can't tap it home. Puck is picked up here and fired off the boards by Hoyt back at center ice. Arbery cut it off. Throws it back to center. They go back to work. Morozov back across the Truro blue line. Sidesteps a check. Goes on the far boards. Holmes thought about pitching in, but he'll stay where he is. It's picked up by Lindsay, the Truro D-man, to flip back to center ice. No score, just underway. 16:20 to go in the opening period. A good start for Flin Flon here tonight. Like we said, most of the play's been inside the Truro zone. There's the stretch pass for Stitton. Got a piece of it. That's broken up. Valergian picked it up now for Truro. He's got an odd man break. Nice backhand pass as he feeds that over the left side where it's grabbed here by Curson. Curson back to that, tried to come out front. Curson along the boards. Pinned up that time by Mounier. Puck is grabbed here by Fontaine. Fontaine throws it out front. Intercepted that time. Here comes Rhett Ewan back the other direction at center. He'll get it. Flip the puck back inside the Truro zone. Knocked away back of the goal that time by Countaway. And the puck comes back to Bomber blue line. Got a lot of whistles early. Some good pace here in the early going as the Bombers will chip the puck in, go out for a change. 15.5 to go in the opening period. Still no score. Truro back in their own zone. Countway lost the handle to Delisle. Here's Ulmer. Through traffic. Rips it wide. Low stick side. Knutson at the other point. That got blocked. Lalamere can't pick it up. Puck sent back to center. Grabbed this time by Evans. Stopped though as he hits the Bomber blue line. Lalamere tried to get a stick on it. Comes right back to Ulmer. Ulmer by himself across the line. Ulmer hangs on. Tried to throw it out front. Hit a leg. There's Lalamere. Blue line for Fashawn. Slides that pass to Knutson. Knutson will bring it back in deep. Knutson tried to hang on to it. Puck's poked away. And grabbed once again here by Evans, the Truro D-man. And they'll dump it down, and Truro will get a much-needed change now, less than 15 minutes to go in the period. Here comes Yakupchuk to Fashawn. Across the line, off the goalpost! Had the goalie napping there and almost cost him. Oh, what a great rush that time by the two Bomber D-men. Flin Flon that close to taking a 1-0 lead. They'll keep the puck deep inside the Truro zone. 14.5 minutes to go. Great chance for Xavier Fashawn. Flin Flon worked it free. Bruce's chance off the glove and held on to by Conway, and pretty close to being a 1-0 Flin Flon lead. Boy, the Bombers have looked very good here.
They've looked really, really good. They've had the pressure on. If you looked at zone time, we've played 5 minutes and 35 seconds. I think we've had about 4 minutes of zone time and only about 15 to 20 seconds in our own end.
14:25 to go in the period. Still scoreless as Duca, Seitz, and Lees will go to work. You've got Yakupchuk and Bruce on the back end. The face-off in the Truro zone. The left of the netminder, Luca Conley, he was napping on that shot by Fauchon. He did not see it. He wasn't paying attention.
No, that was a great rush by Fauchon. He used the defenseman as a screen and just about caught that top corner. Another couple inches the other way, and it's 1-0.
Well, they will waive the Truro forward out, so this continues to be a fiasco here at this tournament. A lot of people in the stands talking about that today. As Flin Flon's forced back at their own blue line. There's Yakupchuk on it. Trying to go back to Bruce. That's going to be intercepted here by Fontaine. He's across the line. Fontaine trying to throw it back out front. That got taken away. To the blue line. Knocked down and held on to this time. There's a chance. Fired over top of the net that time by Connors. Puck comes back out front. Tripp stopped that. Back to Connors at the high slot. Shoots it. Blocked in front of the net that time. Good job by Bruce. We all know how many shots he blocks. And Seitz will pick it up on the Bombers' side of center. Yakupchuk going to pinch in. He'll get it in deep. Here's Yakupchuk. Like we said, Flin Flon look for them to attack as much as they can, as they really need to score some goals here today. Connors back inside the Truro zone, able to get away from the persistent Bomber forecheck. St. Gelais will get it. He'll dump it inside the Flin Flon zone, but Arbery overskated it. Yakupchuk, nice pass up the boards. Here's Miller. Morozov, and Arbery on the attack. Across the line! Ripped over top of the net that time by Miller. Did not miss by much again. Wraparound attempt by Arbery. That gets stopped. And the puck is picked up here. And Sutherland will pick it up at center and flip it back inside Flin Flon territory. Icing against Truro. And the Bombers come close again. It seems like the long shots, for whatever reason, are giving Conley a bit of trouble here in the early going.
They are. There's two shots that came from just the top of the circles that he missed cleanly. Both of those hit the net. That we're up 2-0. If the Bombers can find a way to get a couple here early, I like the way they're playing. So there may be a chance that they could get quite a few goals tonight if they continue this pace.
Bombers out shooting the Bearcats 4-0 on the Orland Motel shot clock. Stitton will line up for the face-off here against Hoyt. We'll see if they both stay in there. They do. Right back to Alexander. And there's a good stick save made by Conley on the high shot. Puck will come out. Rhett Ewan, 2 goals in the win against Sudbury on Saturday. Throws it ahead to Stitton. Stitton down the wing, into the glove again. Conley will stop that. A lefty, they're a little bit tougher to shoot on, I think, are they not?
That's what I was just going to say, is it'll be a little bit different for the boys shooting up against the lefty. Normally they're going to the top right-hand corner, but tonight they're going to have to look low stick side to the right side or look into the top left-hand corner.
Very good crowd here today, Keith, and I'm not sure if you've noticed this or not, but it seems like when the Bombers are playing, the crowds have been a little bit bigger here.
It has been, yeah, and there's a great crowd in here tonight. Definitely the biggest one the Bombers have had so far.
Alexander off the draw. Can't get it back to Knudsen. Look out. Here's a chance now for Corson coming in behind the knee. Corson gets in. Great save, Charlie Tritt, on the first shot of the game for Truro. Corson gets in alone, and a great left pad stop that time by Charlie Tritt. He needs to be better today, and that's a great start to start things off for him. Alexander will poke that back across the Truro blue line. Puck picked up at center ice. That's grabbed this time and brought in by Evans. He tries to come back out front. The puck got stopped. I think Tritt got his paddle down. Bombers back of their own net. Mounier has it. He'll take a look. Here's Nathan Mounier. Made a good move. Swings the pass to Ulmer at center. Back across the Truro blue line. They get it ahead to Balduke. Balduke will hang on to it. Throws it back of the goal. And that's grabbed this time by Lindsay. Up the middle. Alan can't get a stick on it. Balduke in behind him. And he'll throw that puck back in the Flin Flon zone. There's Mounier back of the net. Mounier knocked it down. Tries to slow things down a touch. Up the boards to Lalemire. Can't get a stick on it. Connors in the blue line will get a hold of it and rip it wide. It goes to the far point where it's grabbed by St. Gelais. Dumps it in. Back of the net that time. And that is scooped up here by Vachon. Vachon to the front of the net. Kenny jamming in. Puck linger. Oh, Trick Blake goes down. Makes a great save again. That time taking one away from Evans. Good pressure by Truro, though their first good looks here of the hockey game. They'll throw that puck in back of the Flin Flon net. Todd is there. Back out front. It redirects, and Trent will make the glove save. And he'll hang on. So Truro finally getting some offensive zone time for the first time in the period.
Yes, and some great saves by Charlie. hard to do when you don't have any shots for the first 8 minutes of the game, and a guy comes in on a breakaway, but he made a great save there. Even this one here was a little difficult. As a pass out front went off a skate, and he had to make a quick reaction off that.
11:18 to go, opening period, no score. The shots, 6-3 Flin Flon. On the Orland Motel shot clock, Todd will stay out there for Truro. He'll line up for the face-off here. I believe that's Leo Seitz. It is. Well, it was. He's going to get waved out of the face-off circle, so Lees will go in to take the draw.
I wonder what the over-under is on guys getting thrown out of the face-off today.
Well, we heard them all talking about the crowd today. It's not going over well with the fans.
No, it's not.
Off the face-off again. Truro's got it. Here's Todd trying to come back out front. Throws it to the middle. Grabbed here, knocked down. There's a chance. Ripped wide that time. Good chance by St. Gelais. And the puck at the side of that. And Charlie Tripp looks like he's got his mojo back. Look at him grab that puck, and you can just kind of see that he's very confident between the pipes here today.
Yeah, he looks very focused tonight. He's made three, or like we talked about, 3 good saves already here in the last just 3-4 minutes, because for the first 5 minutes, he saw nothing.
So face-off once again inside the Flin Flon zone. Truro getting a few better looks here. Kyver will take the draw here as he lines up against Leo Seitz, who stays in the face-off circle this time. Flin Flon wins the draw. Muka can't poke the puck out. The puck will come back in the Flin Flon net. There's Knudsen, gets it back to Fashon, who left that goal post the last time he was out there. Fashon, forced back in his own zone. Swings that pass to Seitz. He'll redirect the puck back in Truro territory. Here comes Muka. Barely down on St. Gelais for a good body check on him. Puck grabbed by Seitz. He'll hold it in. They have a guy alone in front of the net, but they can't get it to Lees. It's broken up, and the puck sent back to the Bomber blue line. Bruce on top of that. Feeds it back here to Yakimchuk. Up the middle. The puck will roll inside the Truro zone. Muka on top of this one, battling 3 different guys. Morozov will come in there. He'll try to dig it free. There comes the right point. Bruce a chance. Rips it wide, low blocker side. Yakimchuk holds it in. Throws it out front. Intercepted this time by Connors. Just gets the puck out. Good work here by Miller along the boards. Gets it ahead to Morozov. He's back across the line. Pass out front. Working in. Great chance that time by Reed Arbery. And the save of the game so far for Conley. What an effort by these Bombers. What a big puck battle victory by Morozov along the boards. That's how you get results and get good scoring chances like that.
Well, Connor Miller chased him back. They got him just over the top of the blue line. He got the puck free. Morozov came in, and we've talked about his eyes here all tournament long. He found Reed Arbery wide open coming in. If it weren't for a great save by Connolly, we're up 1-0.
Miller will take the draw against Balduke. The face-off once again inside the Truro zone. 10:04 to go in this scoreless opening period. Again, the Bombers 1-2, Truro 2-1. Truro knows that they'll, I guess it's not even guaranteed that they make the playoffs yet either, is it?
No, it's not. Depends on what the final score is of this game.
Yeah, no kidding. Here's Miller. Good work down the left side. Will cross, but that gets knocked away by Evans, and it's picked up and fired well over the glass and out of play. 9:46 to go in the opening period.
And we got a souvenir over there.
And we got a media timeout as well. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more of this opening period, but a good start for the Bombers, out shooting Truro 7-3 on the Orland Motel shot clock. Is still awaiting the game's first goal here on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
The North of 53 Co-op is not just a building, card lock, or food store. They're a group of people working together to help their neighbors build our community. And they're proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers during their Centennial Cup run. The North of 53 Co-op is built by you and for you, and offers the products and services needed by us. That's why it's not just a catchphrase, it's a fact. At the North of 53 Co-op, you're at home there.
Creighton Furniture and Appliance Center wish the Flin Flon Bombers luck in the Centennial Cup. Creighton Furniture has what you need to create the feel, function, and features you want in your home, including great prices on upright freezers, retro fridges, and furniture with the colors you've been dreaming of. So while the Bombers make a statement in the Centennial Cup, you can too by shopping at Creighton Furniture and Appliance Center on Main Street, Creighton. Go, Bombers, go!
9:46 to go, opening period. Rob Hart, Keith Yeager, the final round-robin game in the Centennial Cup. A big one here for these two teams tonight. The Bombers and, of course, the Truro Bearcats are going to face off outside the Truro blue line. Ewan, Stitton, Alexander all set to go to work here for the face-off. You've got Mounier and Holmes, who's had a great game against Sudbury on Monday and has been rewarded with a chance to play again here tonight. We're not surprised because we commented about his great play right throughout the afternoon.
Yeah, I ended up picking him as the warrior of the game in that one because he had a great assist in the first period, threw a great check, drew a penalty, and really set the tone to help the Bombers get that 4-1 lead.
So the faceoff will now move inside the Truro zone. Arbery, Miller, Morozov, the forward group, had a great chance the last time they were just out there. And you've got Knutson and Fashon in the back end. They're going to move Miller out right away, so Arbery will go in. He'll face off here against Jake Todd. Like I said, very good crowd here tonight. And not just saying this, but it seems like the Bomber games have been the best attended, other than obviously when Summerside plays. Fashon at the blue line. He'll hang on to it. Through traffic, that got blocked. He gets it right back. Behind the net. Arbery waits for it. Bumped off the play by Todd. Arbery, though, stays in position. The puck comes to blue line. Flin Flon able to hold it in. Connors will knock it down in front of the Truro net, and he sends it off the boards. Forces Knutson back in his own zone, and he's got a hold of it. Flin Flon goes back to work. Morozov knocked down as he tries to cross the blue line. Miller tries to get his stick on it, help to come back on the Bomber side of center. Feeds it back to Knutson. Flipped it up the boards that time. Morozov will chip it inside Truro territory. Arbery races out and throws a monster body check. That is the defenseman, St. Gelais, and he's down. He's still on the ice. He was going down, and he's really shaken up here. He's up on his feet now, Keith, but he felt that one.
Yeah, he was falling down as Arbery went to hit him, and he went into the boards hard. Fortunately for them, is they're going to allow him to change even on the icing because he is hurting.
8:53 remaining in the period. Still no goals. The Orland Motel shot clock 7-3 Flin Flon.
And he's going right down the tunnel.
He is. He's hurt. He went down hard. That could be a big loss for them. Alexander, Sitton, and Ewan back in business for Flin Flon. The face-off to the right this time of Logan Conley. Bruce has got the puck right now on the back end along with Yakovchuk as Flin Flon will get it in deep. They'll send it back to Yakovchuk in the blue line. One shot save. Rebound in front. And Alexander fired it wide. Conley back of the net. Lost the handle, bounces to the point, held in this time by Bruce. Good work in the corner, Morozov. Morozov to Sitton. Sitton, he's tied up. Ewan's in there now. He'll rip that around the boards, and Yakovchuk will knock it down. Yakovchuk throws it back in deep. Sitton back of the net. Sitton, nice job to get it back to Bruce. The blue line just holds it in, spins, fires. Oh, deflected by Ewan just off target. Scored 2 goals against Sudbury in that same position back on Monday. Flin Flon fires it on target. The save made that time. Delisle back out there for Flin Flon. And Truro having a tough time getting the puck out. They finally get it back to center. They got a chance for a 2-on-1 here. Sutherland will get that one in deep as he fired that over the far side. But it missed Evans.
You can certainly see the Bomber D-men taking a few more chances today than they normally would.
Yeah, when you see Yakovchuk leading a rush like that, I mean, and here he comes again. They'll fire that puck right back inside the Truro zone. There's a body check as Ulmer lines up his guy, Hoyt, though. Gets the puck to blue line. Here's Hoyt now at center ice. Crosses the Bomber blue line. Brings it in deep. Fires it on target. The save made here by Charlie Trent.
Charlie looks sharp.
Yeah, there's not Truro, not a lot of offensive zone time. Flin Flon's kind of held them at bay here so far.
Yeah, they had that little spree there for 2 or 3 minutes where they had those couple of shots. One of them was just a bouncing puck that gave them the breakaway. Other than that, the Bombers again here back in the last 3-4 minutes have had the pressure on, and you're hoping it's just a matter of time before they find the back of the net, break that open for themselves.
7:28 to go. Truro wins the faceoff inside the offensive zone, so in Flin Flon territory, bodies flying all over. Lee's got knocked down in front of his own net. He'll get back up, try to get in position. The puck will come to the blue line, grabbed here by Lindsay. His shot got blocked, but the puck will stay in. Picked up and fired around the boards that time by Vachon. Still scoreless, 7:08 to play in this opening period. Puck in the Flin Flon zone. Knutson back of the Flin Flon net. Feeds that one back up the boards. Here's Leo Seitz. Got the first goal against Sudbury on Monday. Lees to the middle of the ice. That one got intercepted and picked up here by Conway. Throws it down the ice, looking for Vachon. Or Countway, pardon me. Anyway, Vachon missed the pass. Flin Flon's got it. Seitz once again in his own zone. Here comes Leo Seitz. Very big contingent of Bomber fans here tonight. Lees will tap that one back across the Truro blue line. That's Halliday. Ooh, I thought Lees was going to intercept that and walk in alone.
It was awful close.
Kyver will feed that one back to center. That's picked up this time and fired back in Flin Flon territory by Balduke. Bombers jump back on it, though. Here's Morozov. They're offside as he tries to cross the blue line. 6:20 remaining in the opening period. Still no goals, but Flin Flon looking good early, out shooting Truro. 9-4 again on that Orland Motel shot clock.
Yes, they've been looking really, really good here. They've had some great chances. I mean, other than those two rushes that Truro had, the play has been dominated by the Bombers. Hopefully, again, here they can find a way to get on the board. We're hoping to just go into that third period with a lead here and a chance to get up that 5 goals.
Miller and Fontaine line up for the face-off just outside the Truro blue line. It's one of the few face-offs that Miller loses, but Flin Flon will grab the puck anyway. It's picked up by Holmes, and he fires it over to Morozov over top of his stick. Halliday has got it, and he'll shovel that back of the net over to Lindsay. He lost a handle. Here's Arbery back then. He'll rim it around the boards. Left point. Mounier waits for it. Mounier throws it back in deep. Morozov is there. Tied up along the boards. Morozov gets free. Nice job to Mounier. Mounier, long shot got blocked, and he able to knock it down and keep it in. There's a chance, and he just missed wide. Low blocker side. There's Holmes' chance. That got blocked. Flin Flon firing everything at the net like we knew that they would here today. There's Arbery. Back of that for Miller. Lost the handle. That one stripped away that time by Fontaine. Can't get outside the zone. Good job by Flin Flon. They'll hold it in. Morozov. Blue line. Now it comes out. Arbery grabs it at center, and they'll flip it back in, and Truro make changes.
You can definitely tell Mike Reagan had a conversation with the D-man about pinching in on the point, because they've made quite a few of them here and kept that puck in a couple extra times, and you would have thought they would have.
Halliday throws it back up the center. Flin Flon will intercept. Halliday's been out there a long time. He wants to get off the ice. He will now as the puck, because he's right in front of his own bench. Meanwhile, the puck will drift back down to the Flin Flon zone. There's Bruce back in his own net. He gets rid of it. Flin Flon will start the attack. Alexander to center. Nice pass up the left side. Here's Brett Ewan across the line. Gets it, and I go, off the blocker over top of the net. Thought that might have a Bomber bounce. Yakimchuk will keep it in. He sends it through. That one hit somebody in front. I think it might have been Alexander. Flin Flon back on the attack inside the offensive zone, but Alexander a big body check. Puck picked up here. Sutherland flips it ahead, back off the boards inside the Flin Flon zone, and Sights there to get it. Stretch pass to Lalamere. He'll get that one in deep. 4:25 remaining in the period. There's Lindsay. Lalamere got a piece of it. Couldn't hold it in, though. Here's Evans back the other way for Truro. He'll get it in deep. Puck will roll back in the Flin Flon net. That's Knutson. Loses the handle up front. There's a steal. And Evans with a wide open net. Can't put it home. Puck sent to the blue line. Knocked down that time by Balduke. But Flin Flon got it again. They try to come back up the middle to Ulmer. And icing will be called with 4 minutes to go. The first giveaway by the Bombers in their own zone, and it almost comes back to haunt them.
Oh, that was awful close. They went to shoot it around the boards, and he caught the player in the shin pads. He put it out front. He gave a tap pass to the guy who was wide open. He just missed it, or he had an easy goal for the tap-in.
Exactly 4 minutes remaining in the opening period. We're still waiting for our first goal here today. Flin Flon once again out shooting the Truro Bearcats, the Maritime Junior Hockey League champions, 10-5. After the opening period. Face-off in the Flin Flon zone, the right of the netminder Charlie Tritt. Maverick Delisle lining up for the face-off here against Welsh. And Truro wins the draw. They get it back to blue line. Todd will get the quick shot away, and he'll make the save. You look at the guys that were dangerous this year. Coyne actually, I don't think is playing today. He was their leading scorer, at least in the playoffs. He had 15 points in 17 games. Jake Todd, though, 13 points in 17 games. He and Fontaine have been their two most dangerous forwards. Say they were third and fourth in team scoring in the playoffs.
Yes, I'm a little strange that you don't got your top guy in. Maybe he's
he
feeling
must
a little
be injured.
He's got to be.
It's a big game here.
Yeah, it is definitely a big game. Here we go.
Goes back to Ulmer. They try to come back up the middle that time for Lalamere. They're trying to get the Go Bomber Go chant going here. Ulmer, meanwhile, backing it. Will rip that around the boards. There's Holmes. He'll knock it down and try and keep it in. It's taken away from him. Lifted around the boards the other side and scooped up this time by Kyver. Kyver made a good move at center. Here he comes. Across the Bomber line. Kyver will drop that one back into the corner. Kyver gets it again. Kyver to the blue line. Knocked out and held in this time by Merriweather. He throws it in. Holmes and a guy on top of him. Gets rid of it. Ulmer with a stick. Trying to poke it out, but the puck will stay in. Mounier will pick it up, though. Truro is changing. Mounier to center. Gets a hold of it, sends it back inside the Bearcat zone. Held in this time. Good play by Muka. Pass out front, and they can't convert. It'll come back to center. Yakimchuk gets it. He'll get rid of it quickly. Back inside Truro territory. There's Leo Seitz. Can't pick it up. You got shot on target. Right pad safe that time by Conley. And now Truro has something going. A 3-on-2 rush up the other way. Yakimchuk trying to get back in position. Get some help this time from Bruce. He'll knock it down the corner. Good defense here. Bruce turned back of the net. Truro with the steal. Puck is laying there. And that's scooped up this time by Balergan. Balergan in the corner. Lets it go back of the net. So Balergan's also playing here today. He had 14 points in 17 playoff games. Hasn't had the puck much because Flin Flon's had it for the most part. Yakimchuk back to Muka. Redirects it in. Just 2:05 to go in the scoreless opening period. Halliday back inside the Truro zone around the boards. Intercepted for Sean. Back up front. Wide open is Morozov. Can't squeeze the trigger. Arbery scores! And Reed Arbery with the laser beam. Fires it over top of the right shoulder here at Conley. And boy, the Flin Flon Bombers, a very good period of hockey here today. Keith Yeager, full marks for a 1-0 lead on a beautiful setup from in behind the net.
I told you before the game I had a feeling that Morozov was going to get a couple of points. There's one of them. A great keep-in by Fauchon.
Beautiful pass.
He threw it down. Morozov behind the net, threw it out, and Reed Arbery just stepped right into that with the big slapper. Beat the goalie upstairs, and we are up 1-0.
Arbery's second of the tournament. Beautiful shot. Flin Flon will score on their 11th shot of the period. Reed Arbery from Morozov. We'll see if a second assist is added, but that's a nice goal here today.
You bet. The tough shots for the goalie. The long ones are fooling him. That one by Rhett Ewan almost went in as well.
You want to shoot high on him by the looks of it.
It sure does, yes. He hasn't played any of those high shots cleanly.
Miller against Kyber, the lineup at center ice here after the Arbery goal. Flin Flon in business, a 1-0 lead, and here they come again. Throwing the puck deep inside the zone. Arbery's there. There's Morozov as well. Morozov back at Arbery. Chips it free. Morozov back of the net. Morozov looking for some room. Back in the goal for Miller. A backhand just missed. It goes through the crease. Flin Flon keeps it in deep. That was close again. There's Arbery. Flin Flon working extremely hard. Miller knocked it down. Back out front. Knutson again scores! Ryder Knutson! 2-0 good guys at the 18:33 mark. And listen to the ovation from the crowd here, Keith Yeager.
Listen to that crowd.
Not only the Bomber fans cheering, but the folks here in Summerside have taken this team on as their own.
You bet. This is a great crowd here tonight. Look in the sky boxes. They're full. And the Bombers are up 2-0. Another great play by Connor Miller. What a sight that he saw Knutson coming in wide open. And a great shot from Knutson. And we're now up 2-0. 2 goals on that one shift from that line.
Beautifully done. 1:25 to go. Flin Flon, a great opening period here today. Big hit there. Going to be a penalty, though, unfortunately. Knutson's going to go for an interference penalty as he hammered. Trying to get the number here for Truro. I can't see. He's got to turn to the side.
89, looks like 89.
That'll be Balarjan, none of their top players. But it'll be the first penalty of the day, so we'll see if Flin Flon can kill a late Truro power play. We talked about the special teams, how big they are, and obviously a big test. You don't want to give Truro any momentum with a late period goal here today.
Yes, and without one of their top players, and that's also going to hurt the power play. In the regular season, they had a 26.9%, only a 17.1% in the playoffs. And now you take off one of their leading scorer out there. Let's see a big kill from the Bombers.
So a big face-off inside the Flin Flon zone. The Bombers lead at 2-0. Knutson's got the second goal. He's also taken a penalty for interference. So Fontaine will get set for the face-off here. Digs in here against Wyatt Stitton. Truro wins the draw. There's a chance at the side of the net. That goes off the side of the goal that time by Fontaine. Balargan will throw it out front. There's a chance for it over top of the net that time by Todd. It must have hit the netting. As they'll blow that down, we'll get you to get those assists on those goals when they announce them. We know how slow it takes to get on the Canada website.
Yes.
I'm still waiting for the goals from Monday to pop up there.
Yeah, I know. We still don't know who had all the points, and it's a little crazy that they're that far behind.
Anyway, we'll see what happens here today, but a 2-0 Flin Flon lead. They're face off inside the Flin Flon zones. Truro wins the draw, right back to blue line, held in that time. As they'll work it back to blue line, that's grabbed this time by Evans. Evans back of the net. Had Fontaine in there. Fontaine couldn't grab it. Comes back to Todd at the blue line. He'll stop outside the right circle. In the corner for Fontaine. Todd hangs on. Halliday at the blue line. He gets rid of it. Back to Halliday. He'll take a look. Top of the circle. Chance in front over top of the net. I'm not sure if Trick got a piece of it or not. Back scramble from the Bomber net. Bruce will hold up his guy. 33 seconds to go in the period. A minute 11 in the penalty. And we'll get the official on those goals coming up here at the opening intermission, which is not far away. Meanwhile, Truro continues to be on the power play. That one gets sent on target. Trick the pad save. Jakubchuk tries to hang on. Fontaine on top of him. And by the way, that's Antoine Fontaine, not George. As the puck is sent off the boards, back down inside the Truro zone. Halliday back there to get it. Up the right side. I didn't see anybody there. Fontaine out of position. Should have been an icing call. Mounier will pick it up off the boards into the Bomber bench, and we'll have 1.3 seconds to go, but so far so good on this penalty kill.
Yeah, they just got to get this face-off here to get into the intermission. And it sounded to me on the goals that they're saying the Reed Arbery goal was unassisted, and the only assist...
How's that possible?
I do not know, because both Fauchon and
Morozov got it right. Anyway, okay, fine. What's the official on the second goal?
And it sounded like the only assist on the second one was to Connor Miller.
Well, I tell you what, Morozov deserves an assist because he fed that puck from behind the net for the first goal. Well, you saw it.
Yeah, absolutely. He threw it out there. He was trying to hit I didn't go to the guy he was looking for, but he threw it out front definitely, and Reed Arbery stepped into it.
1.3 seconds to go. Face off between Miller here, as well as Balduke, and Miller will win the draw. And boy, how about that for an opening period here today, Keith Yeager. The Bombers came out and meant business, and boy, full marks for a 2-0 victory after the opening period as they get a nice ovation from, I would say, 75 to 80% of the people in this rink here today.
Yes, it has been a great period for the Bombers. I would like to see rinse and repeat 2 more times here, to be honest.
2-0 Flin Flon leads at First Innovation Show for the Co-op coming up here on the one and only 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
There are many ways for you to support our local SPCA. Adoption will allow you to feel the joy from an animal and serve as their forever home. Cash donations are always accepted, as well as donations of pet food, cat litter, and cleaning supplies like bleach, paper towels, and unscented wipes. Our SPCA receives no government funding and relies entirely on the donations of our community. To find the best way to offer support, visit Flin Flon Creighton and Area SPCA on Facebook. This message brought to you by Art O'Donnell in support of the SPCA and the SJHL champion Flin Flon Bombers.
The Orland Motel is happy to support this Bomber playoff broadcast, and they also have a wish for each of you to fall in love again with your home, whether rebuilding or settled in, to enjoy your community, take time with your neighbors, and celebrate your friends. The North is a beautiful and unique way of life with deep roots and simple pleasures. So enjoy. The Orland Motel, so proud to be part of our communities.
Go, Bomber, go!
Northland Ford proudly supports the Flin Flon Bombers throughout the Centennial Cup. We know that the Bombers will play tough like the Ford F-150, the toughest truck on the market for over 40 years. Northland Ford helping the community cheer on the Bombers as they work to bring the Centennial Cup to the best fans in the country, and they provide you with the best selection on their lot. In the North, for the North, Northland Ford, the dealership you tell your friends about.
Arctic Beverages and Gatorade Water are proud to be part of supporting our Flin Flon Bombers in Summerside, PEI for the 2026 Centennial Cup. And whether you're in competitive hockey or you're a weekend walker, hiker, or even cyclist, hydration is key. And Gatorade Water has no sugary or salty taste, and it's infused with electrolytes. Gatorade Water and Arctic Beverages, supporting our hometown Flin Flon Bombers at the Centennial Cup. Go Bombers, go!
And welcome back here to Credit Union Place. They got the bed races going. People seem to enjoy that as we're going to get set for the Northland Ford first period scoring summer. Just see if they have the official points up here. It didn't look good the last time I checked. And we'll see if anything's updated. No, nothing there, so we'll go with what we have here. I don't know who's doing that, but wow. A lot better back Billy has them up within when they actually score the goals.
Yeah, Billy's all over it back home when they score goals. Definitely.
They can use him here.
Yes, he can show some people how it's done, especially on the speed-wise, that's for sure.
Anyway, let's take a look at the Northland Ford first period scoring summary. Flin Flon, a great opening period. Finally get order with a couple of goals late there. Keith Arbery will get his second of the tournament. Morozov, some terrific work in behind the net, just a beautiful pass out front, and he leans into one, puts it over the right shoulder there, Luca Conley, and Flin Flon would take the 1-0 lead and would come back. 20-some seconds later at 18:33, Knutson He gets to a little bit further up, but around the same portion. But you get to the middle of the ice, good things happen. Knutson gets the middle as well. Connor Miller, some good work to feed him. Of course, the two former Humboldt Broncos going to work. Knutson gets his first at 18:33, and the Bombers will take a 2-0 lead to the locker room. Shots were 12-7 Flin Flon on the Orland Motel shot clock, and we've got 40 seconds remaining in the Truro power play, the first of the game. That's one thing I will mention about Flin Flon in the tournament is they've been pretty disciplined. I mean, yeah, that might have been an interference penalty against Knutson, but throughout the 4 games that you and I have seen, I think they've played pretty well. I mean, they haven't taken any really undisciplined, maybe just the one that they took for the unsportsmanlike in the I guess it was the first game, which led to the power play goal. But other than that, I mean, I think they play pretty disciplined.
Yes, they have, for sure. Like, you can even see after the play, like I saw one here just with about 3 or 4 minutes left in the first. The guy got the glove up and punched Mounier in the face, and Mounier just kept the hands down at the hips, knowing that if he throws that, he's going to get the retaliatory penalty. Whereas, you know, back in the SJHL, definitely in the regular season, guys in situations like that, you would have seen more of a pushback. So it was great to see that they're holding the discipline. I'm sure Mike Reagan had a conversation with them saying the biggest thing, boys, is we got to stay out of the box, no power plays. They got one here. I would say it was just a tough play. I wouldn't say that it was a bad play by Knutson there. It was just a tough play. The puck was coming up, and he happened to hit the guy just slightly before he got the puck.
There you have it. So that's the story after one. Flin Flon leads it 2-0. Arbery's got his second. Knutson's got his first. And again, the shots in Flin Flon's favor, 12-7 on the Orland Motel shot clock. And again, Truro will have 40 seconds remaining in their first power play. Flin Flon still waiting for their first opportunity here today. But again, if you're Flin Flon, like we said, you can't get too mixed up and you got to score this amount of goals or that amount of goals. Go out there and play Bomber hockey. They're doing that. That's their best. You know, even though they scored 4 goals against Sudbury on Monday, I still think that was Flin Flon's best period of the tournament.
I think so, too. They've come out flying. And shots, well, they might be 12-7, but I bet you shot attempts are 25, 28, 10 for the Bombers. They were all over them. There's been some shots that gone wide, and it certainly does look like this goalie can be beaten high. They beat him twice where he
had that one off the crossbar, too.
Yes, and then the one where Rhett Ewan threw the puck, and it went off his blocker, and he was looking totally the other way. So if they can continue this, they got to just do exactly what they did. Like I said, rinse and repeat 2 more times for this, and I like their chances. I think we're going to have an interesting third period if they can do this again in the second.
Well, we said this when we kicked off the broadcast, that we'd have an indication maybe by what we saw in the first period, and so far so good.
Yes. Again, if it wasn't for about 7 minutes in that play in that game against Sudbury there, they dominated most of that game too as well. If it weren't for the goalie, Dramian, sorry, that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah, he played really well.
If it weren't for him in the third period, we probably only need to win by 2 or 3 tonight, if that, because he made some great saves to keep that game only at a 5-4 game, and eventually the empty netter with Alexander. But, he made some tremendous saves to keep us off the board. Otherwise, I think we could have won that game about 8-4.
We'll see what happens. It's a good start for sure, though. A 2-0 Flin Flon lead. Again, Arbery and Knutson, the goal scorers. We'll take another quick break. The Creighton Pizza player profile, Connor Miller, who has an assist on the second goal, will join us next here from beautiful Prince Edward Island. Creighton Furniture, Flin Flon Bomber Hockey Centennial Cup here on 102.9 CFER, FlinFlonOnline.com.
This broadcast is brought to you by Eldorado Gold Saskatchewan, formerly Foran Mining, now part of an even stronger Canadian headquartered mining company, expanding its presence at home. We're proud to continue advancing the McIlvania Bay project, less than an hour from Flin Flon and Creighton. McIlvania Bay is Saskatchewan's first copper mine in over 30 years and a federally recognized project of national significance. As we move towards production, we're building momentum and growing our team. As we near production, we're also investing in exploration to help bring Northeast Saskatchewan's next mining district to life. And we need your help. Apply today at foranmining.com/careers and go Bombers.
Arctic Beverages and Gatorade Water are proud to be part of supporting our Flin Flon Bombers in Summerside, PEI for the 2026 Centennial Cup. And whether you're in competitive hockey or you're a weekend walker, hiker, or even cyclist, hydration is key. And Gatorade Water has no sugary or salty taste, and it's infused with electrolytes. Gatorade Water and Arctic Beverages, supporting our hometown Flin Flon Bombers at the Centennial Cup. Go Bombers, go.
Creighton's Pizza excited about the summer and are very excited to take their tasty menu out to you. Be on the lookout for the Creighton's Pizza food truck and all their tasty menu items, including chicken souvlaki, smokies, flake broiled burgers, fries, poutine, and of course, pizza by the slice. The food truck will be showing up in random areas and all kinds of special events throughout the summer between 11 and 2. Creighton's Pizza providing quality food and service in northern Manitoba and Saskatchewan for decades. I want to wish the Flin Flon Bombers all the best at this year's Centennial Cup in Summerside, PEI.
Welcome to our first intermission. Our Creighton Pizza player profile, Connor Miller, is going to join us here today. Connor, fourth and final round-robin game, and I guess there's all kinds of different scenarios being thrown out there that they're going to have to win by so many goals. I guess everybody knows the scenario. Your thoughts personally heading into, let's face it, an unusual circumstance?
Yeah, no, it's definitely unique. We just got to go out there and play our game and see how many goals we can get, right? And I think if we play our way, we can pull it off, but it's definitely a big mountain to climb.
Not to put any pressure on you, but you have had big nights before. I mean, that 11-0 victory, obviously, in Yorkton earlier this year. And even the last game, you put up 4 goals in the second period. So, I mean, it can be done.
Yeah, we've done it before, and it's happened in the playoffs, regular season, and against good teams. So I think we just got to do what we do best, and I think it can happen.
You picked up a very important victory against Sudbury. You had a day off. It looks like the guys are pretty raring to go here. It looks like there's a lot of energy with this group before, obviously, as we're doing this interview, the game hasn't started yet.
Yeah, for sure. The energy's good. Guys are kind of anxious to get going and just see what happens, right? That's what everyone wants to know. And, yeah, we've had a couple days off here, so I think we're good to go.
And the nice thing is it was a much improved game. I mean, I didn't think you played too bad in game number 1. Should have had it. Game number 2, maybe a tough one for you guys, but you really responded. That's another thing about this group, Connor, which I'm sure you know as good as anybody. You haven't had your backs against the wall lots this year, but anytime you have, the team's been able to respond.
Yeah, every time our backs up against the wall, we come out and bring our best game, right? Happened in the Weyburn series, and we went down 1-0. Should have won the first game, but we didn't. And that was just a little booster for us, and that's when our best hockey came out.
Like we said, it's tough to go in there and say we got to score X amount of goals. Like I mentioned with some of the other guys today, I think the big thing for you guys is just make sure you play Bomber hockey.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna go. If we're gonna go down, we're gonna go down swinging, right? And we're gonna shoot for the stars here. And sometimes you hit them, and sometimes you don't. So hopefully we can get out there tonight and do what we do and score some goals and get us through to the playoffs.
Been an interesting tournament. Obviously, a bigger ice surface, teams you've never seen before, and a lot of strange times. I guess this game here tonight is a little bit closer to the time that you normally play games. What's it been like for you to adjust the different ice surface, obviously halfway across the country, and like we said, some really interesting start times. Noon, a tough time to start a game by any means.
Yeah, start times, they really don't make a difference. The noon's way better than 4 o'clock for sure, but no, 7:30 tonight's huge for us, kind of same time as at home, and we're all adjusted to the time here already, so I think it gives us our best chance.
Fair enough, and like I said, at least that day rest will probably help you guys heading out for tonight as well, right?
Yeah, it definitely did.
Listen, let's talk about what it's been like for you as a Bomber. I remember forget the first time I met you. A little bit surprised by the trade from Humboldt, but you obviously relished the opportunity. You came in and you said, I'm here for one reason, and one reason only is to help this team win a championship, and you're able to do that. You probably haven't had too much for it to sink in here at the Centennial Cup, but your thoughts on how things have gone in a Bomber uniform for you personally?
No, personally, I don't think it could have gone better. Coming here, guys are welcome with open arms, and we all wanted one thing, and we accomplished that, and now we're trying to shoot for the next one, right? And we get through tonight, then I think we really like our chances, and it's just going to be that much more special when we get it done.
What's been the big secret for this team's success this year, do you think?
The band of brothers that it is. We're all so tight in the room there, and whoever's in the lineup, whoever's out the lineup, it don't matter. We play the same way, and everyone's got the same goal on the ice, and that's what we're going to shoot for.
And I think you look at this team that wins a championship, everybody had a factor. I mean, you yourself played well. Charlie, of course. Ryder Knudsen, who maybe goes really unnoticed and shouldn't. What a warrior he is. But, Seitz has had big games. Rhett, you had a 2-goal performance here just the other day. I mean, I could go on and on down the lineup here, Connor. I think everybody could say that they had a contribution.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone had a chance to play in the playoffs there, and everyone made an impact when they played, right? And that's what you need from everyone, and we're not a one-guy show. We're a 27-man team, and that's what we're going to bring out tonight, and hopefully it works.
Does it really matter to you when you see a team for the first? I mean, hockey's hockey, but these are all strange teams. I mean, you may never see Longueuil, Quebec again, or your opponent here, Truro, here again today. What's it like for you to play against a team you've never seen before?
It's definitely different, but you just got to go out and do your thing. They have their own style, you have your style, and you want to play your way, right? Make them play the way you play, and that's kind of the goal tonight, and hopefully it works out for us.
What's the mood amongst the guys here right now? We talked a little bit. The guys look loose right now, warming up and stuff. What's the mood inside the locker room? You noticing anything?
Yeah, guys are confident. We've scored a bunch of goals before, right? And guys just want to go play hockey, and that's the big thing. And when we play free and make things happen out there, it works. And it's going to be tough, but the attitude the guys have, we're not done. So.
And we know that you yourself and the team always like a big challenge.
Yeah, we don't make it easy on ourselves, that's for sure.
Well, you played pretty. I mean, other than the Toronto game, I mean, you played well. I mean, at that long game, you hit a crossbar early in the game. Have you been thinking about that since early in the tournament?
Yeah, that first game had quite a few chances there I wish I buried on, but they didn't go in, obviously, and here we are. So can't look in the rearview mirror, right? So hopefully today everything goes right for us.
Now, we mentioned that didn't go in, but you were able to score in Game 3 here in the tournament. How big was that for you?
That was huge after all the chances I've had. Just for that one to go in is not pretty the way it went in, but it goes in the net, right?
Last question for you, Connor, before we wrap things up here today. Win or lose here tonight. All in all, your thoughts on being a Bomber, what it's been like playing for this team in northern Manitoba and Saskatchewan?
Yeah, it's been my favorite memories playing junior hockey, right? And just the activities we did as a team and the friendships that we made here in the bonds is something I'll never forget.
And we know the fans are going to be here to cheer you on. What's it been like, the embrace of these wonderful fans?
Yeah, it's crazy to see how many Bomber fans that came out here and watched us play. It's definitely special, and everyone appreciates it. And,
of course, the Whitby Forum, we all know what that was like. Listen, Connor, thanks for this. Good luck. Very big challenge here to take on Truro to wrap up the tournament. But like you said, you got a great group of men in that locker room. And, hey, anything's possible. You still have a chance.
Yep, thank you.
Connor Miller, our Creighton Pizza player profile, of course, right here on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Frontline Sport and Leisure are proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers, wishing them the best in the Centennial Cup. Frontline has the parts you're looking for to tackle our northern terrain, from quads to side-by-sides, and whatever you need to find the perfect off-road vehicle, visit them in person on Coronation Drive in Creighton or call 688-3333 to find your next ATV and Ranger or cruise around the lake in style with a new boat and motor. Your future is riding on this at Frontline Sport and Leisure. Twin Motors knows the Bombers will make us proud during the Centennial Cup. At Twin Motors, customer satisfaction is their top priority because Twin Motors takes the time to learn what you want and offers advice that reflects that understanding. Experience the best Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram service you've ever had in a no-hassle atmosphere. Stop by and you'll see the difference good service can make. Visit Twin Motors today and go Bombers go!
Bailey Homes are proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers on their journey to the Centennial Cup. With 15 years experience in the North, specializing in RTM homes and foundations, they're so thankful to Flin Flon and surrounding areas for supporting them all these years. Bailey Homes is always happy to chat with a potential customer to show what they can do for our community. Your trusted builder in the North? Visit bailey-homes.ca. Go Bombers, go!
Alrighty, welcome back here to Credit Union Place. The two teams have made their way back on the ice. Boy, what a great opening period for Flin Flon today. 2-0 lead, 2 goals late. And then the last 2 minutes of the period, Reid Arbery again picking up his second. And Ryder Knudsen, who's actually in the penalty box right now, has also scored his first of the tournament. So, again, if you're Flin Flon, you just want to keep doing what you did in the opening period. Win those puck battles, keep. Get in deep, throw the body checks, and just attack like they've done actually almost a picture-perfect opening period.
Yes, other than that 2 minutes there where the one puck jumped off the defenseman's stick and they got the breakaway and they gave up one other chance. Other than that, they didn't give up another chance. The other one save that Charlie had to make went off the skate on a pass, which he really isn't a scoring chance.
So we'll get ready for the second period. Like we said, 40 seconds remaining in the Truro power play. The puck will quickly come in the Flin Flon zone. That's grabbed by Pashano on a crossbar. In the first period, he fires it down the ice. That's picked up here by Halliday, the Truro D-man, and he'll take a look and start to make his way up the ice. Swings that pass ahead to Todd. Todd at center. To the Bomber blue line, knocked away by Mounier. Comes back out. Halliday at center. Halliday has got it. He's on his side of center ice. Clips that one ahead. That's picked up and brought it across the line by Vachon. Mounier in the corner, picked up by Miller, and down the ice it goes. With just 7 seconds remaining in the Truro power play. So a good penalty kill by Flin Flon here. As Truro will go back to their own zone. We're back to 5 aside. Knudsen's back on the ice. Here's Bruce on his side of center. Played it ahead. Bouncing puck, look out. Oh, I thought Lees was going to get free. He didn't like the offside call. How did you see it there, Keith?
That's one of those tough calls there where the players, they're judging whether he's got control of the puck. It looked like Joey Lees had control of the puck to me, but I'm not the linesman down there. He had a much closer view than I did, but being a Bomber fan, I wish it would have been onside.
48 seconds gone, but the Bombers have killed the penalty, which is the most important thing here to start the period. And again, lead it 2-0, just underway in the second. Puck is picked up here at center ice. Muka runs into his guy, that's Lindsay. And the puck will go back to the Bomber net. That's rimmed around the boards here. Muka will pick it up here for Flin Flon. Try to play that one ahead. Grabbed and sent outside the zone. Here's Joey Lees picking up. Across the line, a shot. He goes wide, low blocker side. Will hit the corner and come all the way back at Flin Flon territory. Yakimchuk had to be careful. Back of the net, will tap it up the right boards. Muka back to help out. Here's Ryder Muka. Muka's got it at center. Gets a hold of it, sends it into the glove, and the save made here by Conley. Wanted to play it, but he held on to it for too long, so face-off will stay inside the Truro zone.
You can see that the Bombers really got the mindset to force the play. The puck came out from behind the net. They started moving it, and Yakimchuk was already at the blue lines trying to skate the play up, and he didn't even have the puck. It was a Bomber winger who had the puck. They've definitely got the mindset, but it's been working so far here in this first 22 minutes.
Dalal takes the face-off against Balduke. Balduke will win the draw. Quickly, Truro has it at center. Balduke will try to chase it down as the puck goes back inside the Flin Flon zone. Lalamere bumping with his guy. Puck comes back to center ice. Flin Flon will hammer it in. Back to pick it up is the Truro D-man at the side of his own net. That's Halliday. Flin Flon takes it off his stick. They rip it wide. Held in that time by Fashan. Delisle back. Oh, we had Lalamere open out front, but knocked away at the last second. Good defensive play that time by Walsh. He might have saved the goal. Flin Flon will hold it in.
Lalamere was wide open.
He was. Puck goes back of the Truro net. There's Halliday once again. Pokes that one ahead. Evans has got it. 2-on-1 chance now. Truro gets it in deep, but he stopped skating that time. That was Bashan. Here's Ulmer. Back inside the Flin Flon zone. Swings that pass. Lalamere at center. Will tap it in the rest of the way. Flin Flon will make changes. Puck picked up back of the goal this time. And brought back up the ice here by Curson. Curson to center. Up into the Truro bench. Blown down. 17:25 to go. In the opening period, once again, Flin Flon leading it by a score of 2-0. Just taking a look at what else happened on the final day of round robin play. A lot of offense in this tournament here the last couple of days in particular. Here today, we'll get to some scores here. Our next break is we got a face-off outside the Truro blue line as Reed Arbery's got the first Flin Flon goal. Goes in to take the face-off here against Bushon. Bearcats try to get that puck in. Flin Flon will hold it out. Now it's picked up and flipped back deep in Flin Flon territory. Holmes is there. Back of the net. Swings that pass to Mounier. Mounier's got it. Plays it back to Holmes. Holmes stumbles but gets it back to center. And try to come back to Miller. Broken up at the Truro blue line. Lindsay will pick it up now for the Bearcats. Poked it across the Bomber blue line. Mounier waited for it. Played it back to center. Knocked away by Fontaine outside the blue line. Puts himself offside. Blown down. With 16:53 to go. Other scores from today. Longueuil, Quebec, 7 goals. Knocked off the Toronto Patriots, 7. Of course, the Toronto gave up like 15 goals in their last 2 games. And then you had the Niverville Nighthawks, even without 4 regulars in the lineup, including their backup goalie, still held off the Rockland Nationals today, 7-6. Rockland, the number 3 team in the country, Keith, they've been eliminated from the tournament.
That's the one thing about this tournament. You're playing all against championship teams, and you just never know how the game's going to go, and we've seen that all tournament long.
Face-off outside the Bomber blue line is we have Kyver taking the draw here against Stinton. Kyver wins it, but the puck will come back to center. Picked up this time, fed back in the Flin Flon zone by Merriweather, flipped on target, tripped the save. He looked pretty good in the opening period too, did he not?
He looked great when he needed to be there. It was still a 0-0 score when he made those 3 big saves to keep them off the board. And the Bombers then found a way to get a couple in the back of the net. Right there, taking no chances as he caught the puck, getting a face-off in his own end. Good chance to get Connor Miller out there again to win another face-off.
And the Bombers continue to roll 4 lines and roll them very, very quickly. Already a new line has come out there. Arbery, Miller, as well as Morozov. All three have points, by the way, today. And Fashon and Knutson, who's also scored. Speaking of Knutson, he's got the puck in his blue line. Knutson to center ice will get a hold of it. He'll send it back inside the Truro zone. Morozov in there. Try to tip that one back out front. Flin Flon will try to hem the puck and keep it inside the Truro zone. Truro, you can see, is almost kind of sitting back, a little bit more defensive. They don't have to score a ton of goals here today to get to the playoff rounds. They've been a little bit sitting back. Here comes Todd to center. Knocked away from him. And I noticed that they've been a little bit stronger defensively here in the second. They realized how much room they gave Flin Flon in that opening period. Morozov will chip it back in deep. Intercepted at the blue line, but here's Fashon on it. He's across the line, trying to make a move, but knocked away from him. And scooped up here at center ice. Here comes Waugh. Waugh to the high slot. Ripped it over top, and had a good chance there. Lindsay will get the rebound. He'll fire that wide as well. Rhett Ewan knocked it down inside the Flin Flon zone. Waugh just missed their best chance of the day, maybe.
That's definitely the best chance they produced.
Holmes. Fans on it out front of the net. Here's a chance now for Truro, but some great assistance that time. Great work that time by Holmes to regroup and get it outside the zone. Flin Flon back the attack. Didn't try to get a stick on that as they'll get the puck deep inside the Truro zone. Flin Flon holds the line for the time being. Holmes a couple whacks at it. Will flip it back in. Knocked down back of the goal that time by Conley, the Truro netminder. They'll flip that to the corner. Puck is scooped up here by Merriweather. Plays it ahead on the tape that time to Evans. Evans gets that over to one of the Truro assistant captains. That's fired in that time, courtesy of Fontaine. Mounier back of his own net. Now to be careful. Balduke on top of him sees him. Mounier. Nice pass to Alexander, but couldn't take it cleanly at center for whatever reason. Vachon will come back and set it back inside the Flin Flon zone. Mounier knocked it down back of the net as he gets watched out front by Balduke. Mounier back in the Flin Flon net. The swing pass to Lalamere, who will tap it back inside Truro territory. Back to get it is Connors. Fights off a check, gets it ahead. Chance now for a 2-on-1 opportunity. Oh, there's going to be a penalty there, I would think. No. Maybe Yakupchuk won't get a penalty. It looked like he took him down here, grabbing a hold of Connors, but I thought they may call it an interference penalty there. But
I thought so too. He took a swipe at the puck, didn't get the puck, and the player went down, but there was no penalty. Again, there's where the ref is closer than we are. You got to figure he had a better look at something we couldn't see from the back here. But fortunately for the Bombers, no penalty, and we play 5-on-5.
Montana will go back to work. The face-off against Sites in the Flin Flon zone. The left of the Bomber netminder, Charlie Tripp. Bombers in front 2-0. 14-18 in the second period. Also shooting Truro 13-8 on the Orland Motel shot clock. Great hustle by Lees to get down the ice and beat the icing calls. It goes in behind the Truro net. Vachon will hold it in. Bouncing puck. Gets a hold of it. Fired on target. The save made here by Conley. Bombers trying to jump on the rebound. Fashon again from the blue line, fired that on target. A good stick save made. And boy, what a game for Fashon here today.
I figured it. That was the other player I called out before the beginning of the game there, saying that he's due to get on the scoreboard and have a game. And he's had some great chances right there. Again, a stick save from the goalie. One of those ones where it hits the top of the stick, not a stick from the bottom, but the top of the stick, and then made its way into the crowd.
The one thing that he's doing very well is he's getting a lot of shots through, and they're getting on net.
Yes, for sure. They're getting through. The Bombers' D-men have all been getting that puck and trying to get as quickly to the front of the net as they can. You can definitely see they've got a bit of a crash to the net mentality.
Truro wins the face-off. Kyver able to get the job done. They'll get the puck back to center, picked up by Ewan. Did he flip it over the glass? Well, it stayed in. Alexander will race after, throws it back out front. Alexander back to that, will bounce to the blue line. Vachon knocked it down. Knutson through traffic, a chance. Shot made by Conley as the Bombers get to the front of the net that time. White Stinton trying to put that one home. And again, the recipe simple for Flin Flon. They're throwing everything they possibly can at that net and hoping another puck goes in.
Yeah, there was another example. The puck came out to Fauchon. He threw it over to Knutson. Knutson put it directly on net right away. Two Bombers went to the net. There was a rebound, but the goalie was able to corral it before either of them could get a secondary shot.
Bombers continue to roll four lines quickly. Connor Miller will come out there. Wins the face-off. Gets that back to Yakupchuk. There's a chance on target again. And once again, Conley forced to make the save, and he'll hang on. 13:34 to play in the second period. 17-8 is down the shots in favor of the Bombers on the Orland Motel shot clock. Miller to take the draw here. Lining up against Baldock. Miller wins the face-off. Here's Morris on the drop pass. Yakupchuk, a chance off the chest pad that time of Conley. And the loose puck is picked up here by Evans. So get it to center. Morozov ties up with him right in front of the Flin Flon bench. Now it's scored free. Here's a chance for Arbery. Open up the score, and he gets a chance. Rips it over top of the net. Miller in there as well. Back around the boards. Left point. Yakupchuk knocked it down. That shot goes off a stick over top of the net. Flin Flon has Truro reeling a little bit. They have a pin in their own zone. Bruce will knock it down. Into the corner that time for Miller. Miller back the blue line, but that one gets intercepted that time. Here comes Bashan. Back to Evans. They tie up inside the Flin Flon zone. Bombers can't get out. Good work by Bashan along the blue line. Throws it out front of Jets. Oh, great save, Charlie Tritt. On the quick release by Hoyt. Tritt's best save of the day.
Great save there. You can see that the Truro player could tell he had a guy coming, fought his way along the boards, hit the man out in the middle, but a great save by Charlie Tritt and no rebound.
12:48 to go, second period. Beautiful save by Charlie Tritt there, and you're right, the rebound. Here gets the replay here on the nice Jumbotron. Good work by Bashan to keep that puck, and a few more chances for Truro in the second period as they'll get set for another face-off. Back in the Flin Flon zone, the left of the netminder Tritt. Who vowed he'd be better today, and he certainly has been. Puck will go deep inside the Flin Flon zone. There's Knutson. One of the two goals here for Flin Flon today. Flipped it back to center. Ulmer can't get a stick on it. That's Sutherland, but Knutson wins that puck battle. Here's Ulmer. Back across the Truro line. In deep this time for Lalamere. They tie up deep. Puck will come out. Holmes has got to be careful. Gets it back to Knutson. Knutson up the right side. I think Ulmer got a piece of it. He picked up a front. There's Lalamere racing to the net, but he got met at the pass that time by Connors. Truro's been a lot better defensively here in this second period.
Yes, they have. The Bombers have not been able to get kind of the chances, but they still have the puck in the end here a lot.
Connors will get to it, back of the Truro net, off the glass. Then it's poked back in Flin Flon territory that time by Sutherland. And they're going to blow that one down. 11:55 to go in the second period. Still 2-0 Flin Flon. We've got a couple of chances, some great saves here by Charlie Tritt, and again, a very entertaining hockey game.
Yes, a little bit of a veteran move there by Holmes as the puck went by, making it look like he took a couple of hard strides, even though he wasn't putting a lot behind him, and the puck does get over the line for the icing call. Big face-off here in the Truro end here. A chance for the Bombers with the tired line out there.
Lee's going over some instructions here with Holmes as he's going to get set for the face-off. Seitz, Lees, and Muka. You've got Holmes and Mounier on the back end. The face-off in the Truro zone to the right of the netminder, Luca Conley. 2-0 Flin Flon in front. Final round-robin game of the tournament here tonight. The Bombers' first game in prime time had a couple of noon start times, and would have had the 4 o'clock start time, which would have been on Saturday, but of course in Manitoba, they're always 2 hours earlier. Anyway, the puck set off the glass back in Flin Flon territory. There's Holmes to get it. Nice pass outside the zone. Lees has got it. Oh, he had a wide open sight, and he missed him. But like you said, the guys might be a bit tired. Holmes will hold the right point. He throws it through traffic. Save is made. Big rebound off foot. Fired on target again. And that one got blocked. Truro up the left side for Halliday streaking down the ice, and he's going to run out of time. It's an icing call. And Flin Flon can make some changes, but they come close again.
Yes, and here comes the big line for the Bombers. Out with Miller, Arbery, and Morozov. Let's see him make something happen here.
11:17 to go in the second period. Flin Flon leads at 2-0. Both the goals in the opening period here today from Arbery and Knutson. So the first period for Flin Flon the last couple of games was produced 6 goals, 4 against Sudbury on Monday, and then 2 goals here today. So the second period's been the one that's given them some trouble. So far, so good.
Yes, which was one of their best periods in the regular season.
Puck will come to the right point. Truro has it, ripped out over top of the net. Looking for the loose puck here is Kyver. Can't hold it in. Arbery trying to get away from Halliday. He'll race down the ice. He had a couple guys go in the front of the net, but that got blocked. Good hustle by Arbery. He's had himself a very good game again today.
He's a strong player. He's almost never has a bad game.
And he's got lots of friends and family that have made their way out to the East Coast here to watch him play in this tournament. The section in front of us against the Sudbury game on Saturday was almost all Arbery's family. Arbery back to center. He'll dump that one back in deep. Stinton tries to get a stick on it. Puck will come out. Center ice. Grab quickly this time. Good opportunity for Connors. Gets a shot on net. The save made once again by Charlie Tritton. Once again, no rebound. He'll hang on with 10:20 to go in the second period. Once again, Flin Flon in front 2-0.
Yes, another big save there by Charlie. Again, no rebound. Boys got to find a way to start getting some little more quality shots here in the second. They still seem to be controlling the play, but they can't quite get the puck to the middle of the ice the way they were in the first.
No, Turo's made some adjustments for sure. And that's, again, like we mentioned as we've been broadcasting throughout the tournament, Keith, you're facing a league champion from every league, so they make adjustments. That's just how it works. They're saying that Flin Flon put that over the glass here. It's tough to see where it went out.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to get a penalty for that, though.
Well, I don't know if you can really tell when it went out. Like, it kind of, where the booth is, like where the bench is, it kind of just caught the corner there, so it's very difficult to see where it actually left the ice.
Yes, for sure.
Truro obviously would like another power play. Not going to get one as Stinton takes the draw here. Against Todd, they're going to blow that down right off the hop. 10:17 remaining in the second period. A little bit more of a defensive juggernaut here in the second. It was wide open at the first. That's what Flin Flon liked it. Boy, it was fun hockey to watch.
It was fun hockey to watch.
But Truro is tightened up, and now it's the type of game we kind of thought it might be heading into today. Off the face-off. Here comes Alexander. He'll pick it up the middle. Ewan did get a piece of it, but no, they're going to say he didn't. Ewan's going to argue, and he's right this time. He definitely touched that puck.
I think so, too, but I think he was still this side of the red line, and that's what they're looking at.
So we'll do it again. Once again, a face-off back inside the Flin Flon zone. 10-10 remaining. Flin Flon in the lead, 2-0. Another face-off in the Bomber zone to the right of the netminder, Trent. Todd will once again get set for the face-off here against Wyatt Stinton. I believe Stinton's got family that came for the game today, too, did he not?
Yes, his brother and his mom were getting here for sure.
Off the face-off, puck will come back to Lindsay through traffic. That one blocked by Bruce.
The blocking machine.
No kidding. He blocks shots he doesn't even try to block. He's just such a big guy. Puck will come to the blue line, held in here for the time being. Good work here by the Bearcats. That's Kyver. Had to come back out front. Puck is bouncing there. Grabbed here by Ewan. He'll take off. Rhett Ewan to center. Dump that puck in. Alexander comes. Oh, big hit there. Woo-hoo-hoo. He just cold cocked Connors. He went down. And here comes Todd back the other way. Todd will get to it. Back of the net. Comes back out front. Puck laying there. They can't shovel it in. Good save that time by Trent.
And again, no rebound.
So Charlie Trent's in the zone today for sure. The shot's a little bit tighter now. 19-11 in Flin Flon's favor. We got a media timeout. We'll come back with more of the second period here for the final round-robin game at the 2026 Centennial Cup here in beautiful PEI.
Insurance matters, and so does where you get it. And Flin Flon Insurance, proudly serving Manitoba and Saskatchewan, will help you select the perfect policy, not only for your home and vehicle, but for your business, travel, and health needs. And as a locally owned insurance option, Flin Flon Insurance is so very proud to be part of this Centennial Cup Bomber broadcast. They congratulate the Bombers on being at the Centennial Cup and wish them the best of luck. Chicken Chef are big supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers, even going as far as feeding the team. This means they understand what it takes to feed hungry guests. So let Chicken Chef take feeding everyone off your to-do list for those long overdue reunions, important sports team windups, and even your wedding. Chicken Chef supporting the Flin Flon Bombers at the Centennial Cup. Good luck, Bombers, from Chicken Chef.
Back inside Credit Union Place here today, Rob Hart, Keith Yeager, the Bomber Marketing Director, has been with me for the whole tournament. A 2-0 Flin Flon lead and just one minor penalty, Keith, in the entire hockey game so far.
Yes, it's been pretty surprising. Actually, there was a couple I thought the Bombers may have got one, but they seemed to get away with it. Truro, on the other hand, I haven't seen where I looked at a call where I thought that the Bombers were going to get a power play, but we're still early.
Both teams have been very disciplined, and again, in a game of this magnitude, it's hard enough to win. You don't want to beat yourself.
Yes, that's for sure, and you got to hope that the Bombers can find a way to get a power play, needing a few more goals here yet today. And when they do, if they do get one, they got to capitalize.
Ball Duke set for the faceoff here against Maverick Delisle, deep in the Flin Flon zone. Good work by Delisle to win that draw. Flin Flon will push it back to center, and that's grabbed quickly. Now the D-man Merriweather, he'll dump it in, bouncing puck. Trent did stop it, kind of bounced up on him a little bit. There's Maverick Delisle back in his own zone. Outside the zone, picked off by Vachon. He'll hold it in. Vachon's been their best player here in the second period.
Yeah, he's made some nice plays.
There's a chance. Good stick save by Trent. Loose Can they jam it in? No, and Flin Flon gets the puck out. Great goaltending here by Tritt. 2 gigantic saves there as the puck is pushed back down the ice. Truro coming close, though.
This has been a better period for them, that's for sure.
Puck will roll back at the Flin Flon zone. This is Fashawn back there. Will swing that pass over to Knutson. Knutson up the right side. Will flip it back up the middle. Ulmer can't get a stick on it. Fontaine gets it. And now Merriweather will take it from him. Merriweather to center. Across the Bomber line, dropped it back. There's a shot on target that time, courtesy of Belargian, and the save is made. Puck back of the Bomber net. Truro after it, trying to get back on the board here today. Fontaine out of the corner. Left point. Lindsay will hold it in. That shot got blocked by Muka. Puck will come back to center. Lee's back out there for Flin Flon. Grabbed the puck in his own zone. Flipped it back to Knutson. Knutson gets it back to Fashawn. Right side, Muka. Now inside Truro territory. That bounces off the skate, but racing after it back of the goal was Leo Seitz. He can't get a stick on it. Truro quickly back up the ice. Led by you-know-who, Fontaine at 27 as he'll dump that back of the Bomber net. Now he'll go off for a change. Bruce tied up, knocked his guy to the ice.
That looked like holding the stick. He ripped it right out of Bruce's hands.
Puck is pinned up along the boards here. Dug
They
free
still
by
got a hold of
Lees.
it. Look, he's still got a hold of it.
Puck stays in. Fired over top of the Bomber net. Trick got a piece of it. Play continues here as the Bearcats have the puck back of the Bomber net. Back at it, it's White. Can't hang on. Throws it back to blue line. That one gets away here from Countway, and he's back to get it. Countway will flip that back across the Bomber line. Holmes will knock this one down. Back to Morozov. Flips it back to Yakimchuk. Yakimchuk takes a look. Hangs on to it. Nice job to get up the left side. Morozov will push it in the rest of the way. 7:03 remaining here in the period. Flin Flon trying to add a little bit more offense if they can. Waugh's got the puck right now at center ice as he dumps it back in the Flin Flon zone. There's Mounier. Up the boards to Miller. Miller flipped it to center. Some room to work with for Arbery. Across the line. Arbery in tight. Oh, he just missed. What a chance that was again by Arbery. Looking for his second of the game. Oh, he's making some stuff happen here today.
Him and Miller got some chemistry going tonight.
Miller to the blue line. Knocked down Mounier. Long shot wide. Picked up by Morozov right deep inside the Bearcat zone. Pass out front. There's a chance by Arbery. Just missed. I thought that one was going to go in. Another shot fired on target. The save is made, and the puck is finally cleared out. Reed Arbery comes close not once but twice. I thought that second one was going in.
And every time they shoot high, they get a rebound.
So did the fans in front of us jumping up as well.
Yeah, that was close. It was awfully close. He was right in the slot for a great chance.
Holmes
Moreau was off
center.
again.
That got blocked by Welsh. He'll drop it back to Todd. He and Ewan tie up. The puck poked back inside the Flin Flon zone. Knutson in the corner, picked up here by Holmes. Holmes hit a skate, comes back in Flin Flon territory, right back on Holmes' stick again. Less than 6 minutes to go in the second period. Trying to get the Go Bomber Go chant going as the puck is set back down inside Truro territory. Puck is scooped up that time by Countway. Ahead to Welsh at center. Knocked away at the Bomber blue line. Got a couple late first period goals. They're hoping they get some magic here late in the second period as well. 21-13 the shots in Flin Flon's favor. The Orland Motel shot clock. They've got two past the Truro netminder Conley back late in the opening period. And they have a steal back of the Truro net right now. Good work there by Wyatt Stinton. Stinton looking for some help from Lalamere. He ties up with his guy. Puck is loose deep inside the Truro zone to the blue line. Knutson a drive. That got blocked. Puck will come out. Feeds it back to center ice. That's grabbed that time. Fashawn ripped on target. Blockered away that time by the Truro netminder in the corner. Here's Fashawn. He'll flip it ahead. Fashawn waits for it. Throws it back to Knutson. Knutson's got it. Gives it away to Fashawn. Fashawn with the steal. Knutson looks a little bit tired here. Fashawn circling inside the Flin Flon zone. Throws it back to blue line. Knocked down by Connors. Connors through traffic. Great save. Trino gets the right pad down. The puck is loose in front of him. They can't track it. The puck will come to blue line and just held in here by Lindsay. Truro comes close.
Tritter's been the difference in this period.
Absolutely. Connors spitting away. Throws it out front. Picked off this time by Delisle. He'll get a hold of it and flip it back inside the Truro zone. 4:15 remaining in the period. Here's a stretch pass. Redirected by Corson inside the Flin Flon zone. Grabbed here by Bruce. Up the boards, Leo Seitz feeds it back to Lees. Lees at center, leads the attack. Muka poked it back out front. Lees can't get a stick on it. Good effort there. Muka knocked it down just outside the blue line, flipped it right back in. Connors knocked it down. Played that one ahead. Nice pass. Fontaine back out there. Chance in front. Walking in and getting a shot that time was Margerson, and that got stopped. Another shot got blocked. Here comes Lees to center. Stick handles across the Truro line. Rocked it back. Sights a chance, and he ripped it wide that time. Good job, though, by Lees to find the open winger in front of the net. Mounier holds it in. There's a chance off the side of the net. Fans thought that was it as well. Side of the net that time. Flin Flon will keep it in. Bounced up over top of Lees' stick. He's had a nice shift here. Throws a nice body check. Puck will come out. Bombers bring it back in, but they're offside. But, boy, some great chances here late in the period again, Keith Yeager. 3:14 to go. It remains a 2-0 Flin Flon lead.
It's opened up here a bit, and you can definitely tell that Truro has made some adjustments because we like to do the long pass tip-in and then forecheck, and they've been getting the puck back out because they got a D-man going back late, throwing it out, and it's been working for them because they've been getting some chances, and if it weren't for Charlie Tritt right now, we'd be having a much different score.
He vowed he'd be better today, and, boy,
he's delivered.
Maybe as good as I've seen him play.
Yeah, he's delivered. There's no doubt about it.
Because I tell you what, it's been 15 shots for Truro, and none of them have been easy.
No, he's made some great saves. There's been a couple of big scrambles here in front of our own net.
Turo's on the attack again. Todd will get rid of that pass. Across the line, they're looking for Halliday a little bit behind him. Picked up here by Reed Arbery. 2 outstanding chances the last time he was out there. Looking for the puck at center. Knocked away. Comes back in the Flin Flon zone. That's picked up by Knudsen. Fires it back to center. Here's Miller. Miller up the right side. Has an assist in the hockey game today. Caught it over the slot. Shot didn't miss by much. Arbery blows a tire and goes down, and that allows Truro to get the puck out. Todd will lead the charge at center. Got to come back to Evans. That was broken up, but comes back inside the Flin Flon zone. Look out. We got a bomber down. It's Arbery here. Did you see what happened?
No, I didn't.
Arbery down. Play continues. Flin Flon's got the puck as they're inside the Truro zone. That's
it doesn't look good. He's not even making it back to the bench barely.
Arbery is shaken up here, and I'm not sure if it's his knee or what. Mounier comes out to help Arbery get back to the bench. He's got one of the 2 goals. He's been one of their best players certainly in this tournament.
Nice little gesture there from the Truro player who picked up his stick and brought it to the bench for
Hopefully he's okay.
Hopefully he is okay, yeah. You can see J-Rock trying to make his way over to him right now.
That'll be a big, big loss for Flin Flon moving forward.
Hopefully it's just one of those stingers or something and not something serious.
You didn't see what happened behind the play, eh?
No, he got caught up with a Truro player. I'm guessing it was probably an accidental run into each other kind of play.
He was definitely shaken up. Hopefully he's all right. The face-off back in the Truro zone. The right of the netminder, Luca Conley. Flin Flon in front 2-0. They win the face-off. Back to Mounier, a hard drive, and Vachon. He'll block that. Mounier had a lot of mustard on that one as the puck will go back to the Bomber blue line.
Oh, and he blew a blade.
Well, Bomber's got a chance doing that. That's Holmes that blew a blade, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, on their team, yeah, they blew a blade.
Oh, okay. It looked like Holmes was having a little trouble there with his skate as well, but that play continues. Puck goes back across the Bomber line, broken up this time by Mounier. Mounier's got it. Try to move that ahead to Alexander. He'll dump it in. Conley out of the net. Left it back there, and Flin Flon almost capitalized off the glass. Held in by Mounier. Puck rolls in front of the Truro net. Grab this time by Welsh, and he'll play it ahead to Evans. Evans in the Bomber blue line, flips it in. 1:38 remaining here in the second period. Mounier had to be careful. Here's Holmes. Swings the pass ahead to Ulmer. Ulmer at center. Down the wing will cross the Truro blue line. His shot off the stick. Over the glass and out of play. And the one thing that Truro, the biggest adjustment they made, well, you mentioned it, they've taken away the middle of the ice, but they're getting into lanes and blocking a tremendous amount of shots.
Yes, they are. It's been a completely different period from their side. The Bombers got a minute 27 here and got to hope to get some pressure on. Tribe got a late one going to the third, only needing a couple.
1:27 remaining. Face-off inside the Turo's zone. Flin Flon in front 2-0. First period goals again by Arbery and Knudsen. Vachon, the blue line, a shot! Knocked down in front. Chipped over top of it at that time by Delisle. Delisle's got his own rebound. Feeds it back to Knudsen. A shot. Low! Just rippled wide off the left pad. Flin Flon thought they had one there as well. Some late heroics again. Here's Vachon. Delisle circle, shoots it. Big rebound comes out front to Knudsen. Knudsen back on top of it. He'll hold it in. A minute remaining in the period. Finally, Truro will get a hold of it, and they'll send the blue line, but Knudsen holds it in again. Knudsen, good work along the boards. Knocked it down. holds it in. Back of that, Flin Flon looking for some room. Ulmer back of the goal to Lalamere. Lalamere found on, now he makes a good move. Lalamere back of the goal, trying to come back out front. And the puck is cleared down outside the zone. And Knutson will race back to get it on the Bomber side of center. Boy, they come close again.
That was their best shift of the period.
Ryder Knutson forced back in his own zone. He had Valergian on top of him. Flin Flon will flip it back inside the zone. Knocked away by Halliday, but intercepted here by Cochon. Back out front. Lees gets in front of chance. Fired over top of the net. Sights back of the goal. 14 seconds remaining. Chance in front. Cochon can't get one on it. There's a wraparound back out front. One-timer. That got blocked. Knutson holds it in. And Truro going to weather the storm here as they'll skate with it to center. And that's going to do it for the second period. Boy, Flin Flon, some tremendous chances there. But the puck stays out, but a great effort by the Bombers again. You can't fault this effort here tonight. They've been fantastic.
They have been. It looks like just like Bomber hockey here again. They gave up a few chances, but not too much. And Truro was there when they need him to be. They just couldn't find it. Had some pucks that bounced here and there, and that one not late there bounced, and it was only 2-3 inches wide. It went off two Bombers and just missed.
Flin Flon will take a 2-0 lead to the locker room here after 40 minutes of play. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with the second intermission show momentarily here on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Creighton Furniture and Appliance Center wish the Flin Flon Bombers luck in the Centennial Cup. Creighton Furniture has what you need to create the feel, function, and features you want in your home, including great prices on upright freezers, retro fridges, and furniture with the colors you've been dreaming of. So while the Bombers make a statement in the Centennial Cup, you can too by shopping at Creighton Furniture and Appliance Center on Main Street, Creighton. Go, Bombers, go!
It's spring at Shane's, and that means they're here to help you enjoy the warmer season. Shop Blackstone griddles for those outdoor cookouts, or cooling options when it's a little too warm outside. Find Segway ride-on toys while supplies last so your kids can explore the great outdoors, or pick up some books or games for those nights of indoor rainy fun. No matter the weather, Shane's brings you spring. Located in the Utica Mall in the Paw, Shane's, cheering on our Bombers to go all the way in the Centennial Cup.
Northland Ford proudly supports the Flin Flon Bombers throughout the Centennial Cup. We know that the Bombers will play tough like the Ford F-150, the toughest truck on the market for over 40 years. Northland Ford helping the community cheer on the Bombers as they work to bring the Centennial Cup to the best fans in the country, and they provide you with the best selection on their lot. In the North, for the North, Northland Ford, the dealership you tell your friends about.
And welcome back to Credit Union Place here, the second intermission show for the North of 53 Consumers Co-op. A 2-0 lead for the Flin Flon Bombers after 40 minutes of play. Again, both their goals in the opening period here today. Arbery second from Morozov at 18:05. Then Knutson, his first from Miller at 18:33. Speaking of Arbery, we saw him go down, looked like his knee, it happened behind the play. Nobody in this area seems to see what happened, but boy, could be a big loss for Flin Flon moving forward here, Keith, for the third period.
Yes, he's been a big part of the last couple of games, and he's usually a big part of every team. But he got tangled up with one of the Truro players somehow there, and hopefully he's all right.
Alrighty, so shots in the second period favor the Bombers 13-8. The Bombers a 2-period total of 25, and Truro a 2-period total of 15. Again, just the one minor penalty in the entire hockey game. The refs are going to let them decide at 5-on-5.
They certainly seem to, because right late in the period there, Bruce had his stick held for not just a second or two. That guy had his stick between 5 and 10 seconds, took it right to the ground, and even after he was back up on the ground and he was trying to get up, he still held on to the stick.
Anyway, that is the story after 40 minutes of play. Again, the Bombers leading at 2-0. Tremendous chances in the dying seconds. Knutson already a goal tonight. He had some good opportunities. Lalamere had a great chance. Lees was in tight. Maverick Delisle, maybe his best scoring chance of the entire tournament. Oh, that looked like they might get rewarded for a late goal there. That would have been something to go up 3-0 after, too.
It definitely would have been something to be up 3-0, only needing a couple going into the third. But I'm going to guess you're going to start seeing him taking a few more chances here shortly in But even they may not have to. They've had their chances. They just need a couple of bounces to go their way now.
The first 5 minutes is huge, right? Try to get a goal in the first 5, and then you can really press after that, I'm assuming, would be you come out and you attack as much as you can and try to get this goal as quickly as you can and maybe get Truro maybe to get a little front. The ideal thing, score, get them to maybe get a little frustrated, maybe get a couple power plays.
Yes, for sure. You just got to break the period down into sections and getting a goal in the first 6.5 minutes, a goal in the second 6.5 minutes, and then go into the last few minutes of the game. Only needing one more to get up to your 5.
We'll see what happens. It's a 2-0 lead so far. We'll take one more break. John Clausen, the Flin Flon Bomber head scout, is here. He'll chat not only about the tournament, but the Bombers had their spring camp in Saskatoon this past weekend. We'll chat about that as well. So lots still to come from beautiful PEI. The Centennial Cup broadcast will continue on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
The Orland Motel is happy to support this Bomber playoff broadcast, and they also have a wish for each of you to fall in love again with your home, whether rebuilding or settled in, to enjoy your community, take time with your neighbors, and celebrate your friends. The North is a beautiful and unique way of life with deep roots and simple pleasures. So enjoy. The Orland Motel. So proud to be part of our communities.
Go, Bomber, go!
In 1927, Hudbay began and then grew with properties under exploration, development, and operation. Hudbay is proud to be a sponsor of this Flin Flon Bomber Centennial Cup broadcast. Through active participation, bursaries, and donations, Hudbay is proud to continue its 99-year history of supporting the community, its organizations, and its people. Hudbay wishes the best for the Bombers and their fans, built on the strengths of today and tomorrow. Go Bombers, go!
There are many ways for you to support our local SPCA. Adoption will allow you to feel the joy from an animal and serve as their forever home. Cash donations are always accepted, as well as donations of pet food, cat litter, and cleaning supplies like bleach, paper towels, and unscented wipes. Our SPCA receives no government funding and relies entirely on the donations of our community. To find the best way to offer support, visit Flin Flon Creighton and Area SPCA on Facebook. This message brought to you by Art O'Donnell in support of the SPCA and the SJHL champion Flin Flon Bombers.
The North of 53 Co-op is not just a building, card lock, or food store. They're a group of people working together to help their neighbors build our community. And they're proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers during their Centennial Cup run. The North of 53 Co-op is built by you and for you, and offers the products and services needed by us. That's why it's not just a catchphrase, it's a fact. At the North of 53 Co-op, you're at home there.
And welcome back here to Credit Union Place. As promised, John Clausen, the Flin Flon Bomber head scout, will join us. John, I think, Flin Flon, I know, was an uphill battle coming in today to having to score so many goals, but I'll tell you what, they have played 2 very good periods here today.
No, it was a really good start, and I think everybody's been contributing to this game, everybody's feet are moving quick. Guessing that's not going to change for the third. I think they probably owe us a couple power plays here. We had a few different scenarios out there where I thought that we were going to get one, but no, nose to the grind, right? These guys are focused. They're ready right from when we got to the rink here. You could tell they all had their game face on, and it's going to be an exciting third here.
How about the bounce back from Charlie Trent here today?
Oh, he's been fantastic, and that's just given, right? What you're going to get out of him, that we all talked about his calmness in the playoffs, right? So he is what he is, and he's going to put up that wall here for another 20, I'm sure.
Flin Flon, 2 big goals late. They almost score again here late in the second period. They've kind of changed up the attack a little bit, but like you and I mentioned, or like Keith and I mentioned during the broadcast, and you and I mentioned going into the interview, Turo's obviously tightened up defensively. They're trying to take away as much of the middle of the ice as they can.
They can. I think we got guys in their face. Everywhere they turn, we have a Bomber jersey in their face. So we're creating those turnovers. I think once we got to get a little bit more traffic to that net, and I think there's going to be a goal that we can bang in, like a rebound or something. That a couple garbage goals might get things going here in the third.
Listen, business continues. I mean, it's great to be here at the Centennial Cup competing for the National Championship, but other things are happening. You, of course, were a part of that spring camp that just took place in Saskatoon, I guess, this past weekend. Give us your overall thoughts on how that went.
I was really happy with the camp. We book this weekend every year. So what we do is we have 4 teams in of players that are eligible for phase 1 and 2 of this year's draft. And then we also run our top 40 at the same time. So when you see the younger guys that are out, and when they come to a Bomber camp, you know that they're it's always it's good to know that they're coming to camp, because it shows that they're interested in us as well, because a lot of these players have options, right? And some of these players get 12 invites from everybody in our league, so when they choose to come to a Bomber camp, that obviously means they're willing to come up and play as well if they are drafted. With the top 40 group, it was a really big physical camp. There was a lot of, I would say the defensemen outshined the forwards a little bit, but just overall really happy with how the weekend went.
How many kids did you have?
We had the top 40 there, and then we had 64 kids with the young guys. So 104 players were in Martinsville last weekend.
Is that typically more than you have, John, or is that just kind of on par with other years?
On par with other years, yeah. That's how we've been. That's kind of the template for our camps, is running it with those 4 teams for the young draft, and then the top 40 as well.
And you were telling me before that you expect to sign how many kids out of this camp?
So out of the camp, we're going to be signing 2 forwards and a defenseman, and then we also had some players that came up on recruiting visits that we committed to before the camp. So, what we're going to see is, in the next, probably throughout the month of June, we'll start doing some announcements with those players. But it's an exciting core of players that we've recruited again. We're excited every year with who we recruit. I mean, they all bring something special, and the most important thing is they all want to be a Bomber.
So with you winning the championship this year, did you find that even more kids were interested in coming to your camp?
You know what? Maybe. I think what's exciting for the kids is seeing the hype on all the video footage that there is during the playoffs. It's one thing to see it, and then when the players are up there and they see it live, they get excited because they imagine themselves playing in that environment someday, I think. So that's what really is exciting for these kids, is seeing that hype in the community, that, and the support that the team has.
The nice thing is you got a lot of momentum going forward here, because not only did you win the first league championship in 33 years, obviously here at the Centennial Cup, but it's the Bombers' 100th anniversary heading into the year, and I think it's safe to say that the Bombers want to be as competitive as they can and try to take a run at this thing again, right?
Well, we're in it to win it every year, Rob, and that's not going to change.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the fans do as well.
You betcha. I mean, we want to make sure the product is there for the fans. It's the best place to play junior A hockey, so convincing the high-end players, who have options across the map, it's a little bit difficult sometimes. But you know what? We do what we do, and it seems to be working.
It absolutely is. Listen, John, I know I've asked you this before, but let's go and talk conversation about it again, because it's been coming up here at the Centennial Cup about this BC, this rogue hockey. How much more difficult has it made, I guess, all your guys' job, in particular the top-end talent, not just to get the top-end talent here, but keep the top-end talent here? We know how they love to steal players out of our league.
Well, there's so many different ways to look at it. I look at it this way, Rob. I mean, if you look at our roster, what do we have? 8 kids from British Columbia, There's players that want to play hockey, and they just need an opportunity. And I think some of the BC kids have been robbed of an opportunity because a lot of those teams have been recruiting overseas. They have a loose import rule. They can bring in a lot of Americans. So those guys are taking jobs from those BC kids. It's kind of a weird trickle-down effect. But at the end of the day, for us, we're looking to find the best players that are available and the players that are interested in coming to a hockey town like Flin Flon.
Well, look at that! Look at the great crowds of the Whitney Foreman game. You come here and it's a beautiful facility. I mean, the Bomber fans again. I mean, you've only been here for a couple of days, John, but I'm telling you, the Bombers, when they've played, the attendance has been at the best, other than when Summerside's played the host team. I'm not kidding you. When the Bombers have been in action here, those have been the best crowds at this tournament.
Oh, yeah. I think the other teams see that, right? And we pretty much had to travel the farthest to get here. So,
yeah, no kidding.
Again, it's awesome to see. I've been watching a good chunk of the games here, and, there's Bomber jerseys in the stands even when the Bombers aren't playing, right? So they just want to watch some good hockey, and we don't know who the competition is.
What your overall thoughts of the tournament, what you've seen so far?
Well, I know they talked about there's not like a favorite right at the beginning of this tournament, and while I've been here, our pool has been anybody can beat anybody. Obviously, look at the situation we're in here. Overall, the talent's been really good. The level of competition is high. Officiating's been really good, and they're letting the players play. And you can't ask for anything more than that. So
I totally agree. I'll tell you though, John, and I mentioned this to a few other people as well. Now this is the third Centennial Cup for me. This is the strongest contingent from the East that I've seen. Longueuil didn't win a single game in the last two Centennial Cups they played in. They might go to the finals. They're that good this time. Of course, they set Flin Flon back 1-0 and a big win earlier today against a good Toronto Patriot team. This is the strongest I've seen for the Eastern teams in tournaments that I've been at.
Yeah, and you know what? I guess you just never really know, right? Like even Sudbury, they didn't win a game, correct?
Yeah, they did. They won one.
They won one. That's right. But you know what I mean? Like from what I hear, that team has been pretty good for the last 2 years, and they were built for this year. This was their year, but they're not in it anymore, obviously. But hey, a bounce here, a bounce there. I mean, you need a little bit of luck on your side, and if they would have had a little bit more luck on their side, maybe they would have been still playing too. It is. It's good to see the depth all the way throughout, and it's good for the tournament. It's good for Hockey Canada.
You've been with the team for a long time, John. Your thoughts on finally getting that elusive SJHL championship?
My thoughts is it just keeps sinking in, right? You get little moments. You get a phone call from somebody from back in the day that you knew in the hockey world that congratulates you. It was really special. I was so happy to see a lot of the people in Flin Flon experience this, right? Just sitting back on the ice after that win that Thursday night in York, and there was a couple times I just looked around and was like, this is something special, right? There was, Hatch lifting the cup over his head like he didn't get to do that in 92, 93. So watching Hatcher do that, that was something special.
I'll tell you what, I'll never forget the moment I got down at ice level as quick as I can, and like you said, it's a surreal moment. I'll never forget celebrating with you, John. That was a wonderful, wonderful moment.
Absolutely, Hardy. I'll never forget it.
John, thanks a lot. Congratulations on all the wonderful work you and this team does, and looking forward to the third period. I'm looking forward to the 100th year coming up for this illustrious hockey club.
Awesome. Let's go, Bombers.
John Clausen, Flin Flon Bomber, head scout. One more quick break. Keith Yeager will jump right back in, and we'll get ready for a third period. The Flin Flon Bombers a 2-0 lead here on the Truro Bearcats. Centennial Cup coverage will continue on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
This broadcast is brought to you by Eldorado Gold Saskatchewan, formerly Foran Mining, now part of an even stronger Canadian headquartered mining company, expanding its presence at home. We're proud to continue advancing the McIlvania Bay project, less than an hour from Flin Flon and Creighton. McIlvania Bay is Saskatchewan's first copper mine in over 30 years and a federally recognized project of national significance. As we move towards production, we're building momentum and growing our team. As we near production, we're also investing in exploration to help bring Northeast Saskatchewan's next mining district to life. And we need your help. Apply today at foranmining.com/careers and go Bombers.
Twin Motors knows the Bombers will make us proud during the Centennial Cup. At Twin Motors, customer satisfaction is their top priority because Twin Motors takes the time to learn what you want and offers advice that reflects that understanding. Experience the best Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram service you've ever had in a no-hassle atmosphere. Stop by and you'll see the difference good service can make. Visit Twin Motors today and go Bombers go!
Alrighty, welcome back to Credit Union Place. We're just about ready for the third period. Good news for Flin Flon. Reed Arbery is back. He's on the ice. Arbery, Miller, and Morozov, the forward group, to start things off. Bashan's got the puck, and Knutson will fire that in. So Flin Flon leads it 2-0, just underway in the third. Bashan tried to knock it down, came back to Arbery, couldn't get a stick on it. Walsh will poke it back the Bomber blue line. Knutson waited for it. Knutson's got it, fanned on it, gets it back. Here's Arbery. Nice pass outside the zone over top of Morozov's stick, though. Cut off inside the Truro zone that time by Connors. Puck flipped back to center. The Bombers will get it, and they're going to come hard. We know that. They need to score a few more goals here today.
You bet. There's going to be a lot of pressure. You're going to see the D-men probably pinch a little more than they have been even.
Connors throws it away. Here's a steal by Ewan. Flin Flon tried to keep the puck in. Wyatt Stinton races after him, but it'll come outside the zone. Stinton back on top of it, tries to pin it up. It'll be interesting to see. Well, I'm assuming Truro's going to go some type of prevent defense here. They know obviously what's at stake if Flin Flon can get a couple more goals here. So, again, Truro doesn't need to score. They just have to stop Flin Flon from scoring.
Yeah, 4-0 loss is still a win for them.
So that is the prognosis. Flin Flon needs to win this hockey game by 5 goals to move on to the playoff round. They got a good opportunity with a 2-0 lead after one. Had tremendous chances late in the second, but Truro somehow able to keep that puck out. And here we are just underway in the third. As Maverick Delisle will take the face-off against Fontaine outside the Truro blue line. Back to Yakubchuk on target. The glove save made here by Conley.
Sure
tries to keep it in.
Sure like to see the Bombers score a couple, make it interesting.
Yakubchuk throws it back out front. That goes wide. Here's Bruce. Looking for Lalamere, looking for some room out front. Knocked off the play that time by Countway. Again, Flin Flon back up their home blue line. Bruce battling here. There's Maverick Delisle. Had a good chance late in the second period, but knocked away from him. Yakubchuk will pick it up. Back to the Bomber net. He's got it. Swings that pass back. Here comes Ulmer. A lot of room up the right side. He'll use it and get it in deep. There's Lalamere. That's Yakubchuk taking a shot. Blocked in front that time by Balduke. Balduke leads the charge up the ice with Evans. Back to Balduke. Backhander out front, but a little bit past Fontaine. To the blue line. Picked up this time. Held in by Lindsay. Lindsay knocked it down a chance, and he ripped it wide. Truro keeps the puck inside the Flin Flon zone. Balduke back of the Bomber net. Centered it out front. Knocked away that time by Lalamere. He'll poke it off the boards. It'll roll back to the Truro blue line. Balduke has it again. Swings that around the boards, back at the Flin Flon zone, just underway in the third period. Nice job by Mooney. He's been good tonight.
He's been really good.
Here's Sipes. A backhand pass. That will find Lees. He'll dump that one in deep. Countway back. Lees got a piece of it. Throws it back at it. I don't think Nuka was expecting him to block it that quickly, but he did. He made a good play on it. Lees on it again. Sipes in there as well. Puck is picked up and flipped outside the zone. Mounier got a piece of it. Back inside Flin Flon territory. Feeds it back to Fashon. Here's the stretch pass, too far from Yuka. Icing called and blown down with 17-17 to go in the third period. Shots are now 25-15 Flin Flon on the Orland Motel shot clock.
The puck is sure bouncing on the Bombers on those long passes. That's the third or fourth time I've seen it in about the same spot here right out in front of us where the puck is bounced just short of the Bomber, going right over his stick.
Lee set for the face-off. He'll line up here against Jake Todd. Once again, deep in Flin Flon territory. The right of the netminder, Charlie Trent. Very good tonight. Looked like they're going to wave Lees out, but he'll get to stay in. Truro wins the draw. Back to blue line. Shot! Deflected out front. Good save by Trent. Puck is loose in front of him. They try to jam it in. Mounier back of the net. There's Mounier. Lets it. Yuka take it. Feeds it back to Fashon. Sights at his blue line. Leo Sights to center. Ripped it back inside the Truro zone. Racing back to pick up that puck deep in Truro territory. Corson just gets it up and comes back in right away. Morozov jumped on it. Left it there for Fashon. Fashon looking for some room. He'll hang on to it. He's by himself. The rest of the line was changing. Off the glass, back of the Truro net. Hopped up over the stick that time of Miller. Puck sent back to center ice. There's Arbery. Gets it back here to Fashon. Fashon hit down. There's going to be a penalty coming up. And Fashon could be hurt now. No, he got right back up. And Flin Flon will get their first power play of the hockey game, Keith Yeager.
And that was an early call. I don't know why they blew that down. The puck went immediately to a Bomber who had the puck in the middle of the ice, and they blew it down and gave the penalty. But we'll take the power play, that's for sure. But I still thought the Bombers had control of the puck there.
Flin Flon still looking for their first power play goal of the tournament. They are 0 for 10 in the 3 games. Mike Reagan talked about that the pregame, so did you and I. Got to get a power play goal today.
This would be a timely one right here. This is the one that you needed. You were looking for this all game. Here's your chance.
Alexander Miller. Ewan, who's got the puck. Knutson and Arbery for the power play. Knutson a goal already. Walks in, shoots it. That one just got blocked in front. A lot of room there for Knutson. Knocked it down again deep inside the Truro zone. He'll feed that around the boards. Reed Arbery's got the other goal today. He's got the puck along the boards in back of the goal. Rhett Ewan will try to use his size to his advantage. Throws it there. Alexander will try to battle for it. 3 Bombers on top of it, including Knutson, who shoveled it back to the net. That's picked up this time by Countway. He's got it, and he sends it the length of the ice. So 1:25 to go in the power play. 15:53 in the third period. Flin Flon remains in front 2-0. Oh, the pass misses Fashon, and He's got to race back and get it.
One of those where you're skating before you got the
Yeah,
puck.
he was kind of looking up the ice here, I think, and then it kind of just went by him. Lees will take the pass. 14 power play goals in the regular season. He'd love to get one here tonight, I'm sure. 3 power play goals for him in the playoffs. Bombers dig away along the boards here. Puck comes back to Fashon. He'll hold the line. There's a shot over top of that. Didn't miss by much. Morozov's got it. Bobbing and weaving in the corner. Fashon races the right point. Great job to keep it in. Here's Stinton. Back out front. Delisle's got it. Feeds it back to Fashon. The backhand pass to Stinton. 35 seconds remaining the power play. They throw it down low here. Puck comes back out front. One-timer Delisle off the side of the Truro net. Delisle after it. Puck comes out front. Oh! Morozov just about had it. Just off the tip of his stick here. Morozov, a nice job of chipping the blue line. Hangs on. In tight for Delisle. Back to blue line. One-timer over top of the net again. Flin Flon after it. Stinton trying to get a stick on it. Puck is eventually picked up and sent back down inside the Flin Flon zone that time by Connors.
Had a couple chances, just didn't go.
Power play has expired and both teams 0 for 1. Flin Flon 0 for 11 in the tournament. Bruce to center. Sends it in a long shot. Save made by Conley. He'll hang on. And they had some good looks, but again, give Truro credit as they did everything they could to play very well for their netminder, and he kept everything to the outside.
They did, yes. There's one thing that the goalie, he's not made a clean save on a high shot yet this game.
No, they're going high on him for sure. That's how both goals were scored. So once again, Flin Flon in front 2-0. 14:22 to go in the third period. Lalemire, Seitz, Ulmer, Bruce, and Yakimchuk on the back end. The face-off to the right of Conley, the Truro netminder. Guess what? Seitz gets waved out.
And he didn't even move.
Ulmer will now move in and take the draw here against Kyver. Oh, this is ridiculous. Finally, the guy decides to drop the puck. Ulmer after it in the corner. Lalemire took a bit of a high stick there, I thought. Bruce can't hold the puck in. Todd looking for the bouncing puck at his side of center. Throws that back across the bomber line. And now Todd will pick it up. Todd gets in tight. Puck rolls back of the bomber net. Scooped up this time by Fontaine. Oh, it gets past an E-man and down the ice it goes. And here comes Ulmer racing after it. Lindsay tries to get back in position. Great hustle there from Ulmer. Bombers will jump on the puck along the boards. Here they try to hold it in. Puck laying there. Conway after it. Or Countway, rather. Lindsay back that has it. This is Lindsay. Off the boards. Puck at center ice. Mounier intercepts, hits a body, comes back to the bomber blue line. Now Fontaine has it on his side of center. Feeds it back to Lindsay. Up the boards. Chipped back inside the Flin Flon zone that time by Valerian. Truro jumps on the forecheck. Puck comes out front, but
good stick by Connor Miller.
Puck comes to the point. Now Flin Flon has it. Speaking of Miller. Feeds it ahead to Arbery. Flin Flon back on the attack. Puck rolls wide of the Truro net. Picked up in center of the glass. That's going to be a penalty. That's Flin Flon's going to get a delay a game power play here. And we'll get another power play chance. You know what's funny? That's the first delay of game I've seen in the tournament. It usually happens quite a bit, especially with all the speed of all these teams.
Yes, that's the first one I've seen, too. It didn't go over by much, but it doesn't matter how much or how little it goes over.
They're not getting a penalty here. It must have hit the glass.
It did not. That was clean.
How's that not a penalty?
That's a missed call, and the ref was right there, too. The linesman, everybody.
It must have hit somebody is the only thing I can say. There's a chance at front bouncing puck because he was it must have hit somebody.
It must have, because you saw all three Bombers players who were in the vicinity put their hands up right away.
So anyway, remains 5-on-5. I thought for sure that was going to be a penalty, but like I said, it must have hit somebody before it went out because they wouldn't have missed that. Puck is flipped back inside the Truro zone, and it's scooped up this time here by Merriweather. Flin Flon holds it in. Rhett Ewan, good work along the boards. 12.5 minutes remaining. Puck squirts free. Stinton can't get a stick on it. Truro takes off up the right side. Hoyt gets that one in deep that time for Waugh. Waugh pinned up back of it. Comes back to Countway at the right point. He'll rattle it in. Waugh back of the net. Good work along the boards. Waugh still has it. Trying to jam that one in. Trent's got his stick there. I think he got a piece of it. Puck lodged at the side of the bomber net. Both teams battle. Waugh gets it free. A wrap around attempt goes wide. Countway will pinch in.
Big hit by Alexander. Oh, he took a high stick, too. Another one where they missed.
Knudsen will grab it back of the Flin Flon net. He'll take a look. He'll flip it ahead. Alexander's got it. Tracks it at center. He'll bring it in deep with the rest of the line changing. Alexander in deep, falls down, but got the puck in, did his job. There's Seitz back of the net. Leo Seitz looking for a little bit of room. Spins, fire, save! Oh! Rebound out front off the tip of Alexander's stick. There's a great chance there. Truro back the other way at center. Drop past the ball, Duke. Side of the net. Fontaine out front, intercepted here by Muka. 11 and a half to go. Here comes Muka up the right side across the Truro line. Muka cuts in a chance. Bouncing puck in front of that. Flin Flon is after it. Cleared off the boards and out. Here's Yakimchuk right back on the attack for Flin Flon, trying to get that big third goal here. Muka. He'll chase it down. Big hit on ball, Duke. Back of the net. Flin Flon's been by far the more physical team in this game.
Definitely. There's another hit.
Yeah, big check that time by Holmes. Like I said, Flin Flon's had a heck of a game here today. Here's a steal by Lalamier. Dropped it back. Delisle can't shoot it. Mounier has it through traffic. That would hit Ulmer in front. Bombers on the attack. Puck stays into the moon line. Checks. Redirected over top of the net that time by Ulmer. Truro desperately trying to get the puck out. Countway knocked off his stick. Gets some help from Balduke. He's got it. And he plays it ahead to Kyver. Mounier took it from him. Mounier back across the Truro line. Mounier down the wing, carried the puck in, took a big hit. It came in from the Truro net. And Kyver will grab it. Kyver takes a look, swings the pass to Connors. Connors across the Bomber line, tried to split the D, but Holmes played him perfectly. Puck comes back out front. High slot shot on target, a save made by Trent. On the quick release by Kyver, he'll take that in the breadbasket, make the save, and hang on. 10-12 to go.
Oh, here we go. Power play. Power play Bombers.
What happened there?
Roughing.
Todd's going to take the penalty, so maybe... Is this a makeup call for the... Again, I can't see how they would have missed that over the glass there, Keith. It must have hit somebody.
It must have, yeah. It sure looked pretty clean from this angle, but anyway, their top scorer, Todd, got his hands up in the face of Nash Holmes there. We talked about him earlier, drawing a penalty in the last game to try to spark the team, and here he goes again.
Flin Flon's due on the power play. They're not. They're 0 for 11 in the tournament. So it's an Arctic Beverages power play as Alexander, Miller, Ewan, Knudsen, and Arbery is the power play unit. Truro wins the faceoff. Around the boards it goes. It comes outside the zone. Then Arbery will track the puck deep in Flin Flon territory. Reed Arbery back of his own net. He'll give way to Connor Miller. He'll take off up the ice. Here's the drop pass. Knudsen swings it back to Arbery. That one got blocked. Picked up here and fired back to center ice. Good penalty kill so far for the Bearcats. Arbery stick handles across the line as the Bomber fans try to jump behind their team here. They try to swing out blue line. Arbery knocked it down. Knudsen off the tip of the stick. You know he's thinking shot there all the way. Now he shoots it. Knocked down in front. Arbery holds it in. 1:18 to go in the power play. Knudsen looking for a lane. Has a goal here tonight. Knudsen, top of the circle, shoots it! Blocked in front. Alexander tries to get in position, but it's picked up and sent down the ice. A great chance that time, or great job that time by Merriweather to knock it down and feed it the length of the ice. 1 minute to go in the power play. 9:10 remaining in the third period.
Bombers got to score in this power play.
2-0 Flin Flon leads it. Stretch pass. Morozov offside. Take your pick. Lee, Stitton, and Delisle all ahead of the puck.
It was a great pass from Fauchon there up to Morozov. It looked like it was going to be a dangerous play, but apparently we were just a hair offside.
52 seconds remaining at the power play. 9:04 to go in the hockey game. Flin Flon both their goals late in the opening period. A very good effort here today. And this would probably be the best overall game if they played the entire tournament, I would think.
It has, yes, for sure. Other than a couple of minutes in the first period and a little bit of the second period where they gave up a couple of chances, they've really controlled the play the whole game.
And a good stat in Flin Flon's favor, have not given up a goal in the third period in this tournament.
That is one I did not know, even though I've been sitting beside you all tournament.
Bashad's got it. He'll rip it inside the zone. Morozov is after it. He'll knock it down. Flin Flon trying to get back on the attack, but here's a good steal this time by Evans as he gets it. It's been a good penalty kill here by Truro as they'll get it back in the Flin Flon zone. 30 seconds remaining in the Flin Flon power play. They got to hurry here. Morozov looking for the pass. It bounces. Picked up here by Delisle. Dropped it back. Morozov shot. Scores!
You called it, Keith Yeager. You said that Morozov would score. He does. It's a power play goal. And the Flin Flon Bombers, with 8.5 minutes to go, have taken a 3-0 lead. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're probably going to have to pull the goalie at some point. You don't see a team with a lead pull the goalie very often. It may happen here today.
You just may see something that you don't see every day, that is for sure. 8.5 minutes here to go, though. And I called Morozov to get a couple of points today. There's the second one. We need some more, though, boys. We need this line here. We need one of the bottom lines to come up with one more goal. Give us a real good chance going into the late part of the game.
Boy, what an effort by the Maroon and White Express here today. A 3-0 lead. Morozov on the power play. That was a low shot that beat him, actually. They got up high most of the day, but Morozov, a picture-perfect shot over top of Conley's left pad. And look out, the Bombers in business, 3-0. And they still have a good chunk of time left. 8.5 minutes to go in this third period. Boy, if they get another one here right away, look out. Connors has got the puck. Trokin might have to try to open up a little bit. There's a shot on target. Kicked away by Trent. Big rebound, fired up Trent again, but he got the pad out, and that'll come outside the zone.
He's looked great tonight.
He certainly has, boy. What a bounce back for Charlie Trent as the puck will roll back at the Flin Flon zone. Holmes back of the net. Leaves it there for Mounier. Mounier's been rock solid.
Yes.
Swings the pass to Ulmer. Ulmer fights off a check. Flin Flon on the attack. Ulmer across the Truro blue line. Slides that one in deep for Leo Seif. Back out front to the blue line. Yakimchuk will knock it down. Here's Bruce. Walks in. Shoots. Oh, puck rolling behind the goalie Conley, and he falls on it in the crease. He's rattled.
He looks shaky all game here. Lucky for him, they're going to get the media timeout.
We'll take a break. Boy, the Bombers in business. 3-0 here. Centennial Cup action will continue on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Creighton Furniture and Appliance Center wish the Flin Flon Bombers luck in the Centennial Cup. Creighton Furniture has what you need to create the feel, function, and features you want in your home, including great prices on upright freezers, retro fridges, and furniture with the colors you've been dreaming of. So while the Bombers make a statement in the Centennial Cup, you can too by shopping at Creighton Furniture and Appliance Center on Main Street, Creighton. Go, Bombers, go!
Bailey Homes are proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers on their journey to the Centennial Cup. With 15 years experience in the North, specializing in RTM homes and foundations, they're so thankful to Flin Flon and surrounding areas for supporting them all these years. Bailey Homes is always happy to chat with a potential customer to show what they can do for our community. Your trusted builder in the North? Visit bailey-homes.ca. Go Bombers, go!
7:45 remaining in the third period. A 3-0 Flin Flon lead here today. Morozov has just scored the power play. Did they announce the goal yet?
No.
Let's see if he can get the assist on that, because they're not going to go up on the score sheet.
Yes.
So Arbery will take the face-off here deep inside the Truro zone as he lines up here against Balduke. Boy, what a game for Flin Flon here today, out shooting the Truro Bearcats 32-17.
10-2 in here in the third period.
Face-off to the left of Conley. Looks a little bit rattled. Flin Flon wins the draw. That's Vachon. Shot off a body over top of it. Arbery back of the goal. He had a goal to open things up here today. Puck is picked up in the corner, though, by Connors. He'll play it back to center ice. That's Evans. Sends it inside the Flin Flon zone. Vachon is back. Miller is there. Vachon throws it back of the net. Back to grab it is Miller. He'll swing that pass back to Knutson. Up the center ice to Morozov, who's got the third goal. He'll flip that puck back inside Truro territory. Arbery in there. Again, the Bombers were changing. Here comes Lees out there. Puck knocked away and sent back to the Bomber blue line. It's picked up here by Yakimchuk. Yakimchuk dropped it back. Lees, high slot shot, blockered away. Good save, Conley. Lees' best look of the tournament right there. Here comes Ryder Muka. He'll tap that one back in. Sights back of the net. There's Lees. Throws it back in deep. Sights tried to come back out front. He had Muka there, but it got swatted away. Muka can't knock it down. Look out. Puck picked up here by Kyver. One-on-one against Yakimchuk. Kyver trying to throw it back up front. Great defensive job by Yakimchuk to stay with him. He'll poke it ahead. Ryder Muka tries to get up. Makes a move. Gets hooked up. That should have been a penalty for sure.
Wow.
He gets hooked and dragged to the ice. Should have been a penalty.
Come on, refs. You got to do your job on that.
Bruce back of the net. The play continues. 6:10 remaining. Well, that was a bad one there. Usually a stick infraction is called.
Yeah, he had to stick right into the armpit and hold him right to the ice.
There's by Oregon. Gets it back to center ice here for Truro. The Bombers are getting the fans behind him now after this terrific effort here today. Puck is sent off the glass back in the Flin Flon zone. Icing is negated. Oregon is back. Throws it back the corner. Picked up this time by Fontaine. Fontaine's got Evans with him. Evans will dig it out of the corner. Throws in the blue line. Knocked down. There's a chance. Fired just wide that time by Connors. Didn't miss by much. Arbery flipped it ahead. Rhett Ewan at center ice. That one knocked down by Connors. 5.5 to go in the third. Alexander throws it in. Knocked down. Back to Delisle. Back out front. Deflected by Alexander. The save is made. Flin Flon comes close again. Fashawn holds the blue line. Hangs on. Shoots it. Out front. Arbery. Big save. Conley slides across to rob him. I thought that was going in. Flin Flon on the attack. Arbery at the blue line. There goes the Bomber netminder to the net. We told you that this might happen. Fashawn, fans don't understand why the goalie's pulled. They don't realize that they have to score 5 goals to move on. The Bomber net is empty. We knew that this was going to happen, and Mike Reagan has pulled him with less than 5 minutes to go. Fashawn will hold it in. Leaves it there for Delisle. Long shot. Didn't miss by much again. Arbery in the corner from Muka. Chance in front. Left wide that time by Stitton. No, he had a wide open cage, and he couldn't fire it home. Stitton in the corner. Great pressure for Flin Flon. Blue line. Knocked down. Long shot. Oh, they try to tap that one in. Miller can't get a stick on it. Now he has it back and tries to come back out front. Wide open net here for Evans. Will he be able to put it in? He'll shovel it outside the zone. And Fashawn back to get it. 4:20 to go. Here's the stretch pass to Muka. Muka across the Truro blue line. Muka hangs on. First one got blocked here. Flin Flon still on top of it. Net is empty. Seitz can't get to it. Morozov back of the goal. There's Seitz. Seitz back of the net. Along with Stitton, he's taken down here. Boy, Flin Flon get a power play here to go 6-on-4. Could make it really interesting, couldn't they? Truro clears it ahead. Puck will race down the Flin Flon zone. Lees tries to get back. He does. Lees back to pick it up. He'll turn up the ice. Here comes Joey Lees. Good momentum to center. Lees, great move across the line. Hangs onto it. Joey Lees knocked it down, keeps the puck in. Flips the puck back in deep. 3.5 remaining. Knocked down along the boards here by Muka. Muka knocked down by Todd. Puck underneath them. They dig away. Puck is still there in that big fray and dug free eventually here. Wide open net here for Truro, and they score. Fired down the ice here. And that'll make its way to the back of the net. Jake Todd will score. And Flin Flon no choice but to pull the goaltender. A lot of the fans on the right didn't realize the goal differential. They couldn't believe the Bombers pulled their goalie. But again, you and I know, and I guess the majority of Bomber fans know, they had to win this game by 5 goals.
Yep, they had to win her by 5 goals. They've been a valiant effort so far. Still 3:22 here left to possibly, get a chance to do something, but it's going to be tough to get a couple more goals. They had some bounces there. Really had some bounces. Just didn't quite go their way. One amazing save there by Connolly off of Arbery.
Yeah, he robbed Arbery.
Otherwise, we're up 4-0 with a few minutes left to go.
So just over 3 minutes to go. It's a 3-1 hockey game. Turtles on the board into the empty net. Todd will finally score. Unfortunate for Charlie, too, because I don't think he was going to... They wouldn't have got a puck by him, I think, here today.
No, he came out today saying he was going to be better, and he's absolutely been better. He had nothing got by him. The only way they were going to get by him is if they pulled him from the net, and that's exactly what happened.
I think Trent will go back in here, at least for the face-off at center, and if Flin Flon gets the puck in deep, well, then he's going to be probably out of there again. They got nothing to lose right now at this point.
Yeah, nothing to lose here, so.
So Turo's on the board. It's 3-1. An empty netter here by Todd. Truro wins the face-off at center. The puck is sent back inside Flin Flon territory. Fashawn to get it, and as soon as Flin Flon gets it deep, I'm sure Charlie will make his way to the bench yet again.
And they've gone into a total prevent defense.
Boy, Flin Flon, heck of an effort here today. Here's Reed Arbery. He's tripped up. No call there as the puck will come across the Truro blue line. Here's Corson. He'll get a hold of it. He'll set it back inside the Flin Flon zone. Trick stop that back of the net. Todd has scored. And Truro has cut the deficit to 3-1 as the puck is flipped it over top of the Truro net. Looking at the bench here, Mike Reagan is telling him to hang on because Truro's got the puck, but knocked out the blue line. Oh, Sights figures he held it in. They say no. 2:39 remaining. Face-off will come outside the Truro blue line. So the Morozov goal, the assists on that, Delisle and Fashon.
Little frustration showing there from you and Brett in the face of a few of the Truro guys here late in the game.
My thinking is that Todd's goal is probably unassisted, but we'll wait anyway.
I would think so as well.
2:39 remaining in the third period, a 3-1 Flin Flon lead. Heck of an effort here today. Puck comes back to Knutson. He's got it in his blue line. What a game. What a tournament. What a year he's had since coming over from Humboldt. Boy, what a great pickup.
Yes, and they said he played injured for a lot of the playoffs.
He did. He'll put that backhander in. There goes Tripp to the net, or to the bench, rather. But fun, we'll see if they can get back into the, try and regain the 3-goal lead. Puck will come out. Knutson's got to be careful. He had a guy on him. Got rid of it. Lees will pick it up. His pass, though, gets intercepted. Puck comes back to center. Sent back across Flin Flon's blue line. 2 minutes remaining here today. Here's the pass here to Muka, who's had a strong game along the boards. Maybe he's got one more in him before it's all said and done. Lindsay knocked off the play, back of the net that time by Stinton. Muka took his guy down. Puck will stay on Lee's top of the circle, fan on it. Gets it back to blue line to Knutson. Knutson heads on a shot! Off the shoulder that time of Conley. And rebounds it back towards the empty net. Hits the post! And goes wide. That'll be an icing call. That was close there, Keith Yeager, with 1:33 to go.
That would have been the dagger that absolutely put it away, but it just missed. We got an icing call. We still got a chance. We need 3 in a minute 33. Need 1 every 30 seconds.
The Bomber net remains empty here because they have to win this hockey game by 5 goals. Arbery, Miller, Ewan, Alexander, Delisle, and Fashon.
I hope all the Bomber fans got their rally hats on.
I'm sure they do. Alexander off the draw in the corner from Miller. He'll chop it back to the net. Alexander back on top of it. Bounce at the blue line. Maverick Delisle waits for it. He'll shovel it back in, back to the net. Arbery, nice body check along the boards. Puck is knocked down by Fashon. What a play! Oh, didn't miss by much as it just goes over top of the Truro net. Oh, what a play by Fashon to hold that puck in. Here's Delisle. Throws it back into the side of the net, grabbed in midair, and held on to here by Conley. 1:03 remaining in the third period. What a hockey game here today and tonight there, Keith Yeager.
It sure is hard to believe. You watch a game like this, the Bomber plays so well. They're going to come away with a win and yet lose.
Well, we'll see. Maybe they can score. Well, they'd have to score 3 goals against the last minute now, but
1 every 21 seconds.
They'll battle right to the end, that's for sure. Arbery will stay out there. Fashon has had a whale of a game here today. Connor Miller, Morozov, Alexander, and Maverick Delisle as the Flin Flon Bomber net is still empty. 1:03 to go. They're going over strategy here, hoping they can get one and make it interesting again. Miller,
right off the draw.
Miller sets to the faceoff against Balduke, and he wins it. Boy, Connor Miller doesn't lose faceoff. Morozov trying to thread that one through traffic. That got blocked. Flin Flon will hold it in. Good work by Delisle. Back to the blue line, along the boards here. Morozov back to the point. That's Lees.
Got to get stuff to the net, boys.
Delisle. Back to Arbery. Delisle! Hard drive. That got blocked. He'll hold it in. Delisle again into the corner. Picked up here by Morozov. Already has 1 here today. Morozov circles. There's a chance. Oh, the rebound out front to Fashon. Morozov again. That got blocked. Truro will flip the puck out. 28 seconds to go. Miller back on top of it. Here's Delisle. Flips the puck inside the Truro zone. Picked up at Fandon. Chance for Morozov. Save. Rebound in front. Picked up and fired back down the ice. It'll miss. Icing against Truro. And 12 seconds to go. Boy, Flin Flon continues to put on the attack. 36-19 the shots in the Bombers' favor here on the Orland Motel shot clock.
They've held the Truro to only 4 shots here in the third period.
3-1, Flin Flon leads it, 12.2 seconds to go. Muka, Stinton, Seitz, Morozov, Lees, and Fashon. Truro wins the draw. Lees, though, along the boards. Took a bit of a bump there. Puck is laying there to try to poke it free. There's a couple seconds remaining. Longueuil celebrating because I think they've won the pool. A bunch of their players are right in front of us here. What an effort by the Flin Flon Bombers. Like you said, might not be what they needed to keep going on the tournament, but still a victory. And I'll tell you what, they played a whale of a game here. Proud to call this game with you here today, Keith.
Well, it's been a pleasure to be here all week with you, Rob. An absolutely tremendous by the Bombers. They went out on their shields. There's no doubt about that. They can be nothing but proud of the way they played today. You feel for all the 20-year-olds that it's over, but again, they went out on their shields. They played a heck of a hockey game. Come up with a 3-1 victory. It's very rare that you play that well, get a win, and feel like you lost.
Well, the Bombers are all over at the bench. What a year it's been. Played their hearts out today, their first SJHL championship in 33 years, and we'll end the season with a victory. And again, like we said, it's
an unofficial shutout for Charlie Tritt.
He was so good.
He was so good today.
They're going to do a player of the game. Of course, we'll do our own stuff here. And a big ovation for the Flin Flon Bombers on a season to remember. And what a way to wrap up this tournament, even though they will not be moving on to the playoff round. And again, you can play the would-have, could-have card. I guess they're probably always going to think about that 1-0 loss to Longgate to open things up.
Yeah, they're a couple of bounces away from being. This would have put them into. That's the difference in a tournament like this. They get one goal and they win their first place in the division.
Yeah, that's just how tight it was here this year. And again, like I said, Keith, the Eastern teams just a lot stronger than what I've seen in the last few Centennial Cups I've been at, and just even talking to people like Eric Swar, Kevin Surratt, the MJHL commissioner, he commented to me too. He's been obviously in a lot of Centennial Cups. Might be the strongest year for the Eastern teams. Longay didn't win a game, like I said, in the first two. They've been at the last 3 Centennial Cups. Didn't have a single win in the last 2 tournaments.
Yeah, and they looked really well today against Toronto.
They might win this thing.
They just might, and you sure wonder if you look at the way Toronto played in their last 2 games, and it's just unfortunate sometimes the way things work out, the way the schedule goes, and but you got to win with it. What's in front of you? The Bombers played a heck of a tournament. Really, the only thing they didn't play well in was the Toronto game, and they come up just short. But a hell of a season from this team, a hell of a season.
What a great job by Mike Reagan's crew. They were obviously prepared today, played very, very well. Generated a lot of chances, and boy, we're pretty close. Again, they had you go back to a crossbar that Vachon had back in the opening period. Like the chances were there, but a heck of an effort here today.
An absolutely great effort, and you got to feel for the boys. You can see that the 20-year-olds are giving their hugs. This is the last time they'll be on the ice together. But again, someone's got to be a winner. Someone's got to be a loser in the end. Unfortunately, today it's for us, even though we win the game. The players are going to go back. They can be proud of what they did, even though they couldn't come away with a victory but a hell of a season. Centennial, just to get to the Centennial Cup, to win a championship for the first time in 33 years. It's an amazing accomplishment, even though right now it might not feel like the best.
All right, we got a lot to get to here, which I guess is going to be our final Flin Flon Bomber broadcast, but we will not go out with lots of great stuff still to come. We will come back with the final Northland Fort scoring summary. Keith will have all the post-game show awards. I'm assuming Mike Reagan will join us for our final Great North post-game report. And, of course, we're going to have a salute to the 20-year-olds today as well before we sign off here, Keith, with it being our last broadcast.
Yes, I'm not really looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to thank them for everything they did this year.
All righty, we'll take a break. The Bombers win 3-1. We'll not move on to the playoff round, but, boy, what a great effort to wrap up the season and a season to remember here. Centennial Cup coverage will continue. 1029 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Flin Flon Credit Union and Journey Wealth knows the Flin Flon Bombers will give their all in the Centennial Cup Championship. The credit union, through Journey Wealth, has personalized planning and realistic advice with investment and insurance services to help grow and protect your assets. Customized tools and online access make it easy to plan and access your portfolio. Call 687-6620 and book an appointment. Take your first steps to financial freedom with the credit union and Journey Wealth.
Arctic Beverages and Gatorade Water are proud to be part of supporting our Flin Flon Bombers in Summerside, PEI for the 2026 Centennial Cup. And whether you're in competitive hockey or you're a weekend walker, hiker, or even cyclist, hydration is key. And Gatorade Water has no sugary or salty taste, and it's infused with electrolytes. Gatorade Water and Arctic Beverages, supporting our hometown Flin Flon Bombers at the Centennial Cup. Go Bombers, go!
Northland Ford proudly supports the Flin Flon Bombers throughout the Centennial Cup. We know that the Bombers will play tough like the Ford F-150, the toughest truck on the market for over 40 years. Northland Ford helping the community cheer on the Bombers as they work to bring the Centennial Cup to the best fans in the country, and they provide you with the best selection on their lot. In the North, for the North, Northland Ford, the dealership you tell your friends about.
McMunn & Yates Building Supplies is proud to be supporting the Flin Flon Bombers. They know that the Bombers won't hold back and will make everyone proud in the Centennial Cup. And just like the Bombers, refuse to hold back on your spring projects. Find hot deals on everything you need to get started, from bold paints to new tools and flooring to a new toilet. Celebrate 55 years of business with the McMunn & Yates Big Anniversary Sales Event. And go Bombers go!
Alrighty, welcome back here to the Credit Union Place. You got a pen there, George? Yeah, right on there. Anyway, welcome back to Credit Union Place. We're getting set. Okay, sounds good, thanks. Okay, so welcome back to Credit Union Place. All kinds of people making their way to the booth here today. But Keith, again, before we run everything down, you did a wonderful job this week. I loved having you on.
Oh, thanks, Rob. I was excited from the moment you asked me to do this, to be able to come and be with a Hall of Famer and do this at a national championship. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honor, and I'm something I'm definitely never, ever going to forget.
All right, let's take a look at the Northland Ford final scoring summary of the year. What a great effort by Flin Flon. Reed Arbery, of course, a warrior for this team. Scores his second from Morozov at the 18:05 mark. That opened up the scoring. They come right back. Knutsen's first from Miller, 18:33. Both goals very similar. High slot over top. Actually, Arbery scored, I think, over the right shoulder of Conley, then Knutsen over the left shoulder. Anyway, a 2-0 lead. They had to have that in the opening period. They did. No goals in the second. Flin Flon, a late flurry again late in the second period, but the puck stayed out. Then Morozov scored his first. A power play marker. Flin Flon finally got a power play goal. Morozov's first from Delisle with Fashon at 11:25. We thought they had a shot here. I mean, they were flying. Pulled the goalie. Went for broke. Had to win this by 5, as I'm sure everybody in the audience knows by now. And finally, Truro would get a goal. Todd would flip the puck down the ice into the empty net. That came at the 16:38 mark. Flin Flon still poured on the pressure, but unfortunately, could only get 3 past the goaltender Conley. Heavy shot count today. Outshot the Bearcats 11-4 in the third period. The Bombers wind up with 36. Truro winds up with 19. Flin Flon 1 for 2 on the power play. Truro 0 for 1. So they let them decide at 5-on-5. We thought there might have been a few things that could have been called, but it probably could have been both ways throughout the game.
Yeah, in the first period there, the Truro had I remember
that
Bombers,
one play. Didn't Bruce haul down that one guy that we thought there should have been a penalty on?
Yeah, they let a few go both ways, that's for sure. It just seemed in the second half, though, they kind of went our way, but a valiant effort by the boys, no doubt about it.
It certainly was. So that's the final Northland Ford scoring summary. Once again, Arbery second at 18:05. Knutsen's first at 18:33. 2-0 after 1. The big power play marker by Morozov. Boy, really made things interesting in the third from Delisle and Fashon, and then, of course, Todd into the empty net. As Truro will find a way to move on. The Maritime Junior Hockey League champions, the Bombers, with, it's interesting because I would have said to you, Keith, before the tournament began that Flin Flon would go 2-2. I would assume that they go to the playoff round.
Absolutely. That was the minimum that they were hoping for, and they found a way to get that. But unfortunately, that 1-0 loss to Longueuil in the very first game where they outplayed them, only gave up 12 shots, ends up being the difference in the tournament for them.
It certainly is. You got all your post-game show awards ready to go?
I am ready.
We'll take a break and come back with those next. More post-game coverage from the Centennial Cup will continue. 1029 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
The North of 53 Co-op is not just a building, card lock, or food store. They're a group of people working together to help their neighbors build our community. And they're proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers during their Centennial Cup run. The North of 53 Co-op is built by you and for you, and offers the products and services needed by us. That's why it's not just a catchphrase, it's a fact. At the North of 53 Co-op, you're at home there.
In 1927, Hudbay began and then grew with properties under exploration, development, and operation. Hudbay is proud to be a sponsor of this Flin Flon Bombers Centennial Cup broadcast. Through active participation, bursaries, and donations, Hudbay is proud to continue its 99-year history of supporting the community, its organizations, and its people. Hudbay wishes the best for the Bombers and their fans. Built on the strengths of today and tomorrow, go Bombers, go!
There are many ways for you to support our local SPCA. Adoption will allow you to feel the joy from an animal and serve as their forever home. Cash donations are always accepted, as well as donations of pet food, cat litter, and cleaning supplies like bleach, paper towels, and unscented wipes. Our SPCA receives no government funding and relies entirely on the donations of our community. To find the best way to offer support, visit Flin Flon Creighton and Area SPCA on Facebook. This message brought to you by Art O'Donnell in support of the SPCA and the SJHL champion Flin Flon Bombers.
McDonald's and Flin Flon want to congratulate the Flin Flon Bombers on winning their first league championship in 33 years. They're celebrating with a great variety of cold beverages to enjoy all summer long, including the Blackberry Passion Fruit Refresher, Strawberry Watermelon Refresher, and the Mango Pineapple Refresher. Also want to try the new Cloud Iced Coffee, a new premium iced coffee finished with silky sweet cold foam instead of cream or milk. Enjoy all these new beverages at your local McDonald's all summer long. McDonald's wants to wish the Flin Flon Bombers the best of luck at this year's Centennial Cup in Summerside, PEI.
All righty, welcome back to Credit Union Place here, joined once again by Keith Yeager. Keith, it's a post-game show award time. It'll be our final Flin Flon Insurance 3 Stars of the year. But, hey, we're in the middle of May, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. Got to do a lot of hockey this year.
We could have done maximum of 3 more games. That would have been it.
Yeah, so, which would have been fun for sure. Anyway, who do you like for 3 stars here tonight?
Well, for the 3rd star, I've got a D-man who we talked about early in the game who was going to have a chance and definitely needed to be an impact, and he certainly was. Just couldn't find the back of the net, hit the crossbar early, and I've got my 3rd star as Xavier Fauchon.
Yeah, he played really well.
Moving on to the 2nd star, he was the guy who I also called was going to have a great game, and that is Daniel Morozov, who had a great assist and a beautiful goal in the 3rd.
And that leaves us with star number 1.
Well, there's only one guy, and he was the guy who said he was going to be better tonight and came out and made some absolutely huge saves when the team needed to. He never let in a goal all game, and that is Charlie Tritt.
Yeah, Trent was outstanding. There's a puck that goes in. It's an empty netter. Again, they had to pull the goalie because they had to score 5 times, so they wouldn't have scored a goal on him today. And you could tell that after the second. Well, almost even after the first, the way that Charlie was dialed in. The SJHL's goaltender of the year, proving that here tonight. Sensational.
And every final, if you look at it from this point of view, in the final game against Estevan, the final game against Weyburn, the final game against Yorkton, and the final game today, they never gave up a goal.
There you go. Yeah, because it was just an empty net. That's a good little stat there. So Charlie Tritt, 35 saves here today. Star number 1. Daniel Morozov, boy, of course, he had that big game against Yorkton to clinch the league championship. He scores today, and Fauchon was steady as well on the back end. Frontline Sport and Leisure Warrior of the game. Might be a tough one for you today.
Yes, but I'm giving the warrior of the game to a guy who's got the Bombers onto the board and then took a hit late in the second where we wondered if he was even going to be able to play. He had a hard time making it to the bench, but he came out, played a third, was still effective, and that's Reed Arbery.
Yeah, he played a great game. We weren't sure. We're thinking he may have taken a knee in behind the play. Nobody was really sure as the play was going up the ice, but I don't think there's any way you were going to be able to keep him off the ice for that third period.
No, I think it would need to be broken in order to have the head out in an ambulance. And even then, if it was a minor break, I think he'd have just asked J-Rock to freeze it and still would have come out.
So good selections again today. Reed Arbery, your Frontline Sport and Leisure Warrior of the game. And again, all 3 Bomber stars in a very solid victory here against Truro here today, or I guess tonight. Tritt number 1, Morozov number 2, and again, Xavier Fauchon number 3. Take one more break. We'll give Mike Gregg a little bit more time to come up, but of course we still have our salute for the 20-year-olds as well. We'll all be moving on here after this historic Flin Flon Bomber year. So more coverage from the Centennial Cup will continue on the one and only 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Great North GM is one of the leading new and used vehicle dealers and Flin Flon Bombers supporters in northern Manitoba. Equipped with a highly trained and professional sales department, they also have multiple certified trained technicians on site to make sure you get the best service for your car, truck, or SUV at an amazing price. Visit Great North GM in Nepaul on La Rose Avenue today, because it's always a great day to cheer on our Bombers to go all the way in the Centennial Cup at Great North GM.
The Orland Motel is happy to support this Bomber playoff broadcast, and they also have a wish for each of you to fall in love again with your home, whether rebuilding or settled in, to enjoy your community, take time with your neighbors, and celebrate your friends. The North is a beautiful and unique way of life with deep roots and simple pleasures. So enjoy. The Orland Motel, so proud to be part of our communities.
Go, Bomber, go!
It's Wednesday night here. I know I don't have the cachet of Saturday night. Even Thursday is bragging about being Friday Eve, and Monday has the whole villain vibe. But now I've got something to stand out with Wild Wing Wednesday at Chicken Chef. 50 cents a wing from 7 to 10. Wednesday night takes a backseat to nobody. Go back to the 90s with your must-see Thursday. Saturday night, overrated. Wild Wing Wednesdays from 7 to 10 at Chicken Chef. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means.
All right, we're back here at Credit Union Place. We're not sure if the head coach will join us or not, but we are going to salute the 20-year-olds there, Keith. And I guess we'll start. I'll leave Charlie for last. Let's talk about Pierce Yakimchuk, third-year Flin Flon Bomber. Not a guy that puts up a lot of points, but boy, he had a really good tournament. And I'm willing to bet if you did plus-minus on him, he'd be a plus.
Yes, and he was player of the game for the Bombers in a game where it didn't look like he had so many guys who were trying to get goals and everything like that. And we had Fauchon playing off on the D, and somehow Pierce Yakimchuk was the player of the game. But you actually could see him pushing the play a lot more than normally. He's normally a steady guy who stands back there just making sure on the own defensive end. Today he had a different mindset. He was trying to push the play and help the Bombers score.
Well, what a year it was. 3 years he had with Flin Flon. You know, they were there a couple of years ago. Lost out to that Melfort Mustang team. I think everybody thought Flin Flon would win it that year. Melfort had different ideas, and of course has been a warrior for them. So
and a great ambassador for the team. He was the team RBC ambassador of the year and won the award this year.
Xavier Fauchon, we talked about his play tonight. Boy, he really emptied the tank, did he not, for his final game in junior hockey here tonight?
Yes, he absolutely did. He was like you mentioned earlier on the tournament here. He is the only guy to actually play every single game here for the Bombers this year, and such a tremendous young kid. Great to interview, great to talk to, and
real positive attitude.
Yes, very much so. And I'm sure as a teammate, if you started asking people who their favorite guy is, I'm sure he'd be many of them on their list.
The first of three Broncos, of course, that big trade from January the 10th, which really propelled Flin Flon Ryder Knudsen. What a tournament he had. Like you mentioned, he played most of the playoffs. Hurt probably still isn't 100%. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, he played great. Had a goal today. A warrior, manned a lot of minutes, and might not get quite the fanfare that Connor Miller got. Of course, the SJHL's playoff MVP. Charlie Trent, of course, we mentioned the regular season goaltender of the year, and was a finalist as well for the CJHL goal of the year. Ryder Knudsen, how valuable was he, Keith Yeager?
He was a valuable player. That, according to Mike Reagan, he played all of the playoffs with basically one arm, and had a great goal today. So steady, blocking shots that he does all the time. Tough on the penalty kill, tough on the other team's top forwards, and another just great player for the team, and another guy we're wishing well for in the future.
Sam Moore didn't play the last couple of games. He battled injuries throughout the year, but boy, a great offensive weapon they brought in earlier this year, and he was certainly fun to watch this year.
He was absolutely fun to watch. A couple of big goals in the very first game in the playoffs here.
Yeah,
and
there's only 2 power play goals up until late in the Weyburn series.
Yes, and then he got hurt and wasn't able to play until Game 4 of the final. Another guy, tremendous back there, great hands, able to move the puck, and unfortunately he was probably not in the lineup because he is hurt.
Maverick Delisle had that big double overtime winner against the Estevan Bruins. Of course, had a really good chance to score today. Almost like a Philip Deneau type player from Montreal. Can add offense, but is very good defensively.
He was great on the draws here again today. You can see that.
You know who Philip Deneau is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, anyway, keep going.
Yep, plays Montreal, used to play in L.A., back in Montreal again now, yes, defensive guy, yep. And, Maverick, he's been a great player for the team all year, another great young man. Of course, his highlight of the season is going to be, other than winning the championship, is going to be that overtime goal against Estevan in the first round.
All righty, let's talk about Reid Arbery. Of course, we've mentioned him lots here today. gave him, of course, the warrior of the game, scored that first big goal. Boy, Arbery, what a great year. Another 3-year Bomber? Another 3-year Bomber and a warrior. Got hurt, came back, and like we said, there was nothing that was going to keep him off the ice for the third period.
No. He's a player that you mentioned in pretty much every single game. You know what you're going to get with him night in, night out. Every single game is top effort. He always finds a way, and again, when you go back to the championship game, that play he made to set up the second goal for the Bombers.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
I mean, that's McDavid-esque, the way he went around that guy and then found Morozov back there.
Actually put almost like in a time capsule for one of the greatest memories in Bomber history.
It was, and you watch that in slow motion and how he pulls that off. It's just unbelievable play. Just to be able to do it, and then to be able to find the guy back door, to have the vision and the patience and all the way through that's just amazing play.
2 20-year-olds left. Joey Lee's back in uniform here today. Tried to create some offense. Had a great year. He never scored more than 5 goals in a season. He had 27 this year. 14 on the power play. Obviously a 4-year Bomber, and I'm sure he won't forget this game here tonight, his last junior A game.
And what can you say about a young guy who grew up a Bomber fan, grew up watching all of those great players over the last bunch of years, and he is another guy who's been an RBC ambassador.
Yeah. Didn't he win it for the league, or he's a finalist, wasn't he?
He's a finalist.
He won it, yeah.
Yeah, and I knew last year he won for our team, and just so great with the community. You watch when we have the skate with the Bombers and stuff, and you watch the way the little kids are around him and just such a great community guy. For him to be able to win a championship in his hometown, it's something that he's going to be a 90-year-old man and still get standing ovations in the Whitney Forum.
Absolutely. That leaves us with Charlie Trent. What a bounce back here today. Didn't technically give up a goal. That was an empty netter. He was dialed in, made a lot of big saves, and not only is Charlie a tremendous goaltender, might be one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Yes, there's such a difference between Matthew Keeper and him, and when you go to talk to him, Matthew was such a quiet guy, and Charlie is so open, able to communicate nice and easy with, and is so respectful. I had a chance to talk with him after the championship, and I said, no matter what happens in your hockey career, you're going to be a successful person in life.
And he's got that Division I scholarship, too, the only SJHL player that's got one for Lake Superior State. So not only is he obviously good, but very smart as well. They don't just hand those out to anybody.
No, and he's a tremendous young guy and deserving of every single thing that he gets in his life, because he puts his effort into that. Commended him for his parents, and he thanks them for everything he has. And you can just see that he's going to be a guy that's going to go places. He's going to come back to the Bombers in 10 years into Flin Flon and be a guy who's remembered forever.
And I'm glad he got to play the way he did today, because he had a couple of maybe not his best games, and he would admit that. He knew he was going to be better today. I'm glad Charlie deserved to go out like this.
You said before the game, he said he was going to be better today, and he was better than better. He was amazing, and those couple of saves he made, I mean, when you have to save a breakaway in the beginning of the game without having a shot on net, and then they have another great chance after that, and then the deflection off the skate, he made another one there. In the second period, he stood on his head for about 5 minutes to keep them off the board. He did everything he could for this team to try and help them get that 5-goal win.
Well said. That's a salute to the 20-year-olds. Mike Reagan is here. We'll throw him in, and then we'll take one last break, come back with Keith to wrap it up. So we'll let Mike jump in.
Oh, absolutely.
So Mike Reagan's been patiently waiting here for us as we, of course, wanted to salute the 20-year-olds here in what will be our final broadcast of the year. All I can say, Mike, he didn't score 5 goals, but that was just a tremendous hockey game by your team. Tremendous.
More out of that group of guys. They did everything in their power here tonight to get the job done. I think the most disappointing thing is going into the morning, we knew that we'd have to beat Truro, or we thought we'd have to beat Truro 3-1 or 3-0,
yeah,
and we would advance. If Toronto would have beat Quebec, we'd be advancing right now. And, that's so disappointing for these guys, because I thought we played 3 great games out of 4.
This might have been your best complete game today, Mike.
No, we were really good tonight,
yeah.
Hardy. I mean, the guys left it out there, and I'm sorry, I'm probably going to tear up here, but I told the guys that I couldn't have asked for a better effort out of them, and they showed everybody in Flin Flon that there's no quit in this team. I told them that you did not disappoint one Bomber fan today. You did not disappoint one guy that ever put the Bomber jersey on. you did not disappoint anybody in Flin Flon or anybody here today, because we did not quit. And this is just an incredible group of guys. I think I'm just so sad that I don't get to coach this group again. And
You know, sorry, Mike, go ahead.
in all my years of coaching, I've never coached a group like this, and I couldn't be prouder of them.
Well, we kept hearing all year just how tight this locker room was. You know, it was there. Morozov scored 11:25 to go. The pressure was on. I almost thought this might actually happen.
I know. When he scored, I thought it's going to happen, you know, and I thought this is just fitting how it's going to have to be. And I told the guys before the game, please give me the chance to pull the goaltender and make a difficult decision at what time we were going to pull the goalie, and they did that. And you know, we gave it everything that we got. We had a couple that just missed the net, you know, deflections that somehow didn't go in, and you know, we outshot them 36-19, and I don't know if there's not one guy on there that didn't leave every ounce of their energy on the ice.
I totally agree. Mike, you know, it's just such an interesting development how you had to go about winning this game, because I'm sure if I was to stadium before the tournament began, and Keith and I were talking about this before you came up here, 2-2 is usually enough to get to the playoff round.
It is, you know, it's just the way. I even talked to Hockey Canada before this game to find out exactly the scenario, just to confirm, so that I knew going into the game what we needed to do and what decisions I'd have to make if we were in that situation. And they told me that they've never seen such a wild pool of ups and downs and changing of scenarios. I think going into today, they had 16 different possible scenarios that could happen. Just for people out there, if we would have won by 5, we were advancing. If we would have won by 6, we were finishing second place in the pool. If the game was any higher than 6-1, or sorry, 7-2, Toronto would have been eliminated. Anything lower, Truro was eliminated. So there was a couple scenarios where, you know, Truro could have been out here if we would have kept it, if we would have got to 5-0, I guess. And if it would have been a higher score, then Toronto would have been out. And you know what's unfortunate is Hardy, that Quebec game, we deserved to win that game.
Absolutely, yeah.
We outplayed them. We would have finished first in the pool if we would have won that game, or even possibly taken it to overtime and won. So that's the tough thing, because like I said, we played 3 really good games. We didn't play good against Toronto, and usually when you play 3 really good games, you're advancing.
Well, I think your team showed a lot of guts and a lot of character here today, Mike, and even though you don't move on in the playoff round, still a pretty good way to wrap up the year with the effort you got, and just it was a very good hockey game. I mean, you executed a game plan and saw it right through to the end. I mean, you were in control the entire hockey game.
We were. You know, our possession time was phenomenal. I think it was like 70-30 possession time. I want to kind of get back to, I think you and I talked about it before, is the game is, you know, what we needed to do to win here today. And, you know, I talked about Charlie needing to be Charlie, and he was perfect today.
Yeah.
He made every save. You know, the empty netter obviously isn't on him, so he was perfect today. We needed a power play goal. We got a power play goal. Unfortunately, we probably could have used 2 power play goals and one more even strength goal. But, you know, we did a lot of the things that we wanted to going into this game. And after the first period, I told the guys, I said, this morning we knew that we needed to win the game, get 3 goals. I said, we're in the same position after 20 minutes. So we liked where we were at the 20-minute mark. If we could have got one in the second period.
And you had some really good chances, especially late in the period again.
Yeah, if we could have got one there, I think we get the job done. And you wouldn't believe how determined that group of guys were. even the empty netter, they're like, we can score three, and it just, there's a lot of teams that would have mailed it in today, and these guys didn't.
It's unfortunate about the empty net goal, Mike, because that's the only goal you gave up in the entire third period in this tournament.
I didn't realize that, Hardy.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. That is, we've been a good defensive team all year, and if you take a look at, for the majority of this tournament, except for the Toronto game, and then there was 5 minutes against Sudbury, we were a very good defensive team, and that's something that I preach right from the get-go, and the guys bought into it, and I think the one thing that I want to mention, Hardy, is I hope that people don't remember this team for, not getting through the prelims or the round robin. I hope they remember this team as the team that brought back a championship.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what people are going to remember. I thought it was a great ovation. Let's talk about the fans here, Mike. I mean, obviously the Whitney Forum was electric this year, but even a lot of the people in Summerside kind of took this team under their wing. And you might not have noticed this, but I sure did. Other than the Summerside games, the Flin Flon games had the most fans in the building. It's a good crowd here tonight.
Yeah, it was very good. I mean, our Bomber faithful, amazing. Everywhere you look, there was a Bomber jersey, and just, people flew in today to come, and yesterday, even with the situation that we were in, and people came today. Old Jarvis Loga was here.
Yeah, I saw him before the game.
Yeah, he was
played for the Royal Bank Cup team in 2001.
Yeah, and Jarvis and I played together in senior hockey in Quebec, and so I've known Jarvis pretty a long time here, and he was here tonight, and I know he was at the first game, and he's like, man, you guys deserve so much better, and I know that we didn't get through as the SJHL representative, but like I said, I don't think you can be disappointed with what we did in representing the league. I mean, we were the better team in 3 out of the 4 games. Sometimes you lose those games, and sometimes you win some games that you don't deserve either, so I'm proud of this group. Yeah, it's disappointing, but what a heck of a year.
And Mike, what a lot of momentum going into your 100th year.
Yeah, we're going to raise a banner in our 100th year. That's pretty phenomenal. At the start of this year, I'm not going to lie to you, Hardy, I thought that next year was going to be our year with how many young guys we had and stuff like that. But these guys, they just dug in, and that 11-0 win against Yorkton, turned our season around. And in year 99, we got a championship for Flin Flon, and we're looking like a strong contender again for next year. And obviously we want to enjoy this and that, but I'm looking forward to, the guys that can return to see what we can do.
Well, I mean, Mike, you've had so many good teams throughout the years. Was there a point, I think maybe we've talked about this, but I'll bring it up again. Was there a point in the playoffs this year when you thought it will be different this time?
I think once we got through Weyburn, I knew that was going to be a real tough.
And maybe
tough
the way
test.
you won that game, maybe game 7.
1-0.
One of the best 1-0 games I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, in the Whitney Forum, game 7's in the Whitney. Honestly, as a kid, I dreamt about those situations, and playing road hockey with my buddies and that sort of thing. Always talk about a game 7, but a game 7 in the Whitney Forum and you win it. And for another opportunity at a league championship, and there was no denying us, that team. I think once we got through Weyburn, there was absolutely no way we were losing the league final against Yorkton or whoever it was. That group was just so determined, and we got off to such a great start, and maybe the difference between us winning a championship this year and other years, Hardy, is this year we didn't sweep going into the league final, and we didn't have 10 days off or 8 days off, and the momentum that we had gained from beating Weyburn, we just carried that over into the Yorkton series, and whereas the couple years where we swept going into the league final, it was hard to get that engine going again. Not that the guys, it wasn't because the lack of wanting to win. Sometimes you forget how hard it is, and you forget that compete level, that second effort or third effort that you need in order to win a championship. So, in a way, got to thank Weyburn for preparing us, for the league final, and yeah.
Any final comments, Mike? Or obviously our final broadcast. I mean, you brought a league championship back. It's something. It's the only thing that's really eluded you. You're able to do that. I think it's still a very successful Centennial Cup here. I mean, you went 2-2. Usually that's good enough. It's just one of the craziest scenarios I ever saw. But and again, you talk about coming up short. There's also some pretty good teams. And the thing that I noticed about the Centennial Cup, it's the third one for me. And I mentioned this a few times tonight, but I think it's a real big factor. This is the strongest group of Eastern teams I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, the Truro coach said to me afterwards, he goes, "You got one hell of a team," and he goes, "That was a tough one." And obviously we win our last game. Hardy, it's kind of funny actually when you think about it. You always talk about winning your last game of the year, and usually when you win the last game of the year, you're raising a trophy. Well, we won the last game of our season, and it wasn't good enough, And again, I think you ask every guy in that room. I think if we could have a redo on game one.
Even the Toronto game, Mike. I mean, even just give up a couple less goals.
Well, yeah, you're right about that, Hardy. I mean, if we wouldn't have given up as many goals as we did, we'd be in a different situation. This might have been good enough. You know, 2 less goals, this would have been good enough. And that sucks. But at the time, you don't know that. You don't know the scenarios that you're going to be faced with. The other thing is nobody here in this that's been to the games here would have predicted that Toronto was going to lose to Quebec and Truro after the show that they put on against us and Sudbury. But the one thing that was advantage for the other teams that were playing them, they got to see and make adjustments on what you need to do against Toronto, where we didn't have that luxury. We got them out of the chute, and second game obviously, but we needed to play a different style of game. Like we were thinking if we run into them that we were going to clog up the neutral zone and change our forecheck into a 1-2-2, and that's what those two teams did, and it frustrated Toronto, and they had success with it, where we went at Toronto very heavy. We thought that putting pressure on their D would be cause a lot of turnovers and stuff like that. Hindsight, we would have probably done a 1-2-2 forecheck and trapped the neutral zone, and that was the plan if we faced them again.
Fair enough, Mike. Congratulations on a great season, the championship, of course, the terrific run at home, and obviously a good showing in the Centennial Cup. And I, for one, very interested to see how things kind of get ready for the 100th year, which should be a great year for this franchise.
Yeah, 100%, Hardy. I just want to thank you. I want to thank Keith, all the hard work that you guys put in out here, just feeding content to the Bomber Nation. And, I mean, they're hungry, right? And they just love this stuff. And I want to thank all the fans back home. I want to thank every fan that came here, all our sponsors, like tremendous financially how you guys helped us out coming out here. Because it's, I mean, just for people so that they know, there's a couple meals that they cost $1,000 for one meal.
I saw that bill today.
And it's crazy. I mean, the charges for meals out here, it's $1,000, and I mean, Hockey Canada only provides, and the host committee only provide you with so much money. So to all the sponsors and everybody that helped out financially, thank you very much. Much appreciated. What a successful year, both on the ice, off the ice. We got a new bus. We did a lot of great things this year. This organization, worked so hard for this, and I hope that everybody's proud of what everybody did in the organization. And I couldn't be more proud to coach this team and be a Flin Flon Bomber and be the head coach of the Flin Flon Bombers, and said to the guys in there, we'll be connected for the rest of our lives. And that's something nobody can ever take away from us. And I hope that those guys, when they get married and they have kids, they bring them back to the Whitney Forum, show them the picture on the wall, and show them the banner in the rink, and say, I brought that to Flin Flon, and be very proud of it. So Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart to everybody.
Thanks for a great season, Mike.
Thanks, Rob.
One last break with Keith, and we'll wrap up our final broadcast here in a couple of moments. Centennial Cup coverage will continue momentarily with a quick break, and we'll be back to wrap it up momentarily on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Getting your life in order can be difficult, but sometimes a little advice can go a long way. Join us right here on 102.9 CFAR every weekday morning at 9:45 for Intelligence for Your Life. From brain hacks for better memory and effective morning routines to cutting-edge exercise habits, tips on getting a better night's sleep, and more. Get a step ahead with Intelligence for Your Life. Brought to you by Can Aqua, Beach Electric, and the Flin Flon Credit Union on 102.9 CFAR.
Get the latest info on all things Flin Flon with City Beat. From events and new projects to budgets and committees, hear it Wednesday afternoons at 3:30. If you have a question for Mayor George Fontaine or one of our city councilors, then call in ahead of time to 687-8300 or email us cfar@arcticradio.ca. Stay informed about our community and everything Flin Flon with City Beat. Heard Wednesday afternoons at 3:30 right here on 102.9 CFAR, your radio.
Alrighty, Keith Yeager's jumped right back in here quickly. Keith, I guess all in all, anything you want to mention about the year before we officially get ready to wrap it up and call it a season?
Just what a just what a tremendous season. Being able to be around this team this year. Of course, the year before was my first year, so you're kind of just feeling things out. The second year, you kind of got a little better feel of what's going on. You know everybody a little better. You're not brand new to the team. It has just been absolutely amazing to have been on this run right from the very beginning. Like, the team came out right out of the chutes in preseason on fire. They won all 4 preseason games convincingly. Came out and started the season 6-0, and really, other than the 6-game stretch they had after that, never ever really relinquished holding off to being the top team in the league. They just proved it night after night. And then when Mike made the trade, that the team just got even better. They just got even better. And the character they brought in the room, it's going to be something to see. Again, I've been telling a few people around here that it's never easy to build a team, but Mike's going to have a different year for next year for building a team, with it being the 100th year for the Bombers, coming off being the championship team, going back to defend. There's going to be players who want to be a part of that, and there's going to be scouts who are going to be wanting to send players to be a part of it, because there's going to be eyes from around the country and around even into the U.S. and around the world from people who've moved away from Flin Flon or people who have been to Flin Flon. It's going to be absolutely something amazing to be a part of, and it's been an absolute pleasure and an honor. And thank you so much for asking me to be part of the broadcast with you while you were here. Again, I've said it a few times. It's something I'm never going to forget. I'm glad we got together a picture, because when I put together something for my wall, that's one of the things that's going on there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Keith, you did a wonderful job. And like Mike mentioned, all the social media stuff was great this week. I mean, I did the interviews, but you shot it and put it all together. You did all the work to make it happen. So a great job by you. I couldn't have done this without you.
I couldn't have done it without you either, Hardy. We've been a great team all week. I'm glad out there, people in Bomber Nation. I hope you've enjoyed everything we've been able to put together. And I'm hoping to run it back again next year, including winning another championship.
Absolutely. Quickly, I got some thank yous before we wrap it up. I just want to thank, of course, Keith. I want to thank Mike Slip, Raphael Saray, and anybody else that you did color with me throughout the year. Just a wonderful job. Assistance from a lot of people, of course. Travis Rideout, of course, our board ops as well. Ray, who did a great job again today. Raphael as well. The sponsors, Mike mentioned the sponsors obviously for the team. We need sponsors for these radio broadcasts that really jumped on board so we could come out here, put these games on the radio. Dave and the gang from Creighton Furniture, and of course everybody else. No sponsorship too big or too small. Wonderful support in the community for these Bomber broadcasts for decades. And like I said earlier, Keith, I don't know what we do without them, but we wouldn't be here broadcasting this tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, even on the other side, of course, we had sponsorships that I was working with as well. Because what people actually, fans don't realize, is that there's 2 sets that these sponsors come through. They don't just sponsor the stuff that goes on the radio for the advertising. They also sponsor the team directly for all of our social media and this stuff. So they're not just advertising and going once. They're doing this twice, and they're always willing to help. And just been such a great experience to know that the sorry, I'm just at a loss for words a little bit because it's so tremendous the support that the community and the sponsors give. They're always there. They're always willing to help. And going into next year, they're really going to see a great bang for their dollar with it being with our 100th season because, again, the eyes of the world are going to be on Flin Flon.
I want to thank the coaches, all the players, for all the interviews throughout the year, all the visiting coaches and visiting players, and just anybody that had a hand in the broadcast a year I certainly won't forget. And I'll tell you something. I'm going to leave it with this. It's an honor to go in the Hall of Fame, Keith, and that's not the best thing that happened to me. The Bombers winning the championship, not the best thing that happened to me. The best thing that happened to me was after the Bombers won the championship and I was in Yorkton and how the fans wanted me to go down and hold that trophy up. I'll never forget that as long as I live.
That's a moment I won't forget either. I remember I can still see your face from that moment when you got to lift it over your head, and you absolutely deserve to be a part of that. You're, in a sense, you're the longest-standing member of the organization, and that was amazing to get you to watch that happen for you as well.
I'm not going to lie to you, Keith. I don't know what the future holds for me. I'm not sure if I will in fact be back for another year or not. I haven't made up my mind yet. I've had a lot of things happen in my personal life the last year that I have to deal with, but what a way to go. And like I said, the Bomber fans, I'll never, ever forget how they treated me, and that moment in Yorkton will last with me for what a way to go out.
Yeah, you know, there was a whole bunch of us that talked about, what if they could lose one in Yorkton and come back and win it in Game 5. And then I got to talk to some people while we were having the celebration, and they actually admitted and said, this is so much better than winning it at home, because it was a vote for the families and all of the people that supported the players, as much as it was for the fans, but the people who have been beside those players for their entire lives got to be there on that moment and share it in just a small little group of 300 or 400 of us. Those fans that go to every single game on the road got to be there. And as you can see from the picture, there were still 300-400 fans that were at that game, but it was such a great little community that we got to celebrate that with. And you know what, fans? Mike's going to do the best he can next year to win her back at the Whitney Forum.
Thanks for the memories. It's been a fun run. Enjoy the rest of your summer, everybody, and finally great to win that championship. Go Bombers, go. What a way to wrap up the year here. A 3-1 victory